Well, I think.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Ration Museum Bulletin. This is stream number 55. It is Sunday, October 10th, and we are here in the museum archives. Got Curious Pete with me here today as a special guest.
Howdy, folks.
More on the way. So, let's see, just catching up to the chat. We got Yossi, we got Jeremiah. Howdy, howdy. We got Fordman. We got JW Speaker, Tim. We got, let's see, Rosie.
Yeah, I saw someone say hi to Puppy. I feel if I yell like I usually do in caps with Puppy. Puppy!
Alrighty. Oh, museum phone's catching up with a week's worth of Facebook and everything else.
Uh-oh. Suomi, that's a new one? Or maybe it isn't.
No. Welcome back, Somi. Good to have you here on the stream. Let's see. So today we are going to be putting the wrong title tags up. No, today we're going to be eating some food from not this decade, not the last decade, not the decade before that, not the decade before that, or the decade before that. We're going back 6 decades for this one. Though technically the food isn't even 50 yet, but you know, you gotta count the decades when you're doing something like that. We're gonna eat a meal from 1979, and we're gonna catalog a bunch of stuff and gonna have some fun. So hope you guys are in for a great show. And hopefully I'll point the camera at the actual stuff we're cataloging this time. So I think we'll dive into some mail call and some coffee. I'm getting lazy with the coffee. There's just there's been so much of. I mean, there's still so much of this. I'm just going to continue.
Is that the Yossi coffee?
Yeah. Now Pete gets to try it too. So
Pete's going to like it because Pete is a caffeine addict.
So we're going to go with a heaping Russian spoon of coffee while our water boils up. That's going to take a while.
Those aren't the ones that break when you look at them, are they? Or am I thinking Lithuanian? And
oh, these. If I put any pressure right here, this would shatter.
Okay.
I can't imagine actually. And this one came out of a mountain ration, one of those freeze-dried ones. I can't imagine actually using this in extreme cold.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, the only Russian rations I had were single meal.
You know, I'm wondering if I don't think I've had any of the single meal. I have an FSB ration that I've never eaten.
Well, the last one I had was it was probably a civilian ration because it was a single meal, but it had 2 entrees. It had a kash and it had a stewed meat. Fantastic together, by the way. But
I'm wondering if there's really anything else in Russia. You know, like every meal has the tushonka and the kasha.
A little.
And some pate and some crackers and some fat. You know, there you go. That's Russian food.
Well, see, I watch Lars at Survival Russia, and he'll do occasional cooking, but most of it is what you see in the rations.
I think I'd get along just fine camping in Russia. Seems like some really good stuff.
And I don't know exactly where he is, but I think he's somewhere out in the far east of Russia, so he knows cold food.
So let's see. We got some water boiling up. Let's
92 frankfurters, 4 fingers of death.
Getting some 92 frankfurters as a joke gift. Oh man, it depends how they were stored. I actually just recently. Wait, did I? Now I'm thinking of making up a memory. I could have sworn I just recently had some 4 fingers of death, and they actually weren't bad.
I think pierogies are Polish, unless I missed something. Oh, Fordman.
I thought they were Polish, but you know.
But then again, every Middle Europe, they have them in several different names.
And there's a lot of stuff that you think came from somewhere that didn't.
Like I can't remember what kind of food it was. It might have been Bulgarian restaurant I saw on TV because I like food TV, and they were pierogies, but they called them zanki.
Sure. I'm gonna slide this in here. Excuse me.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be big. Blame my dad.
So we got mail call here. This was just I need to stop looking at eBay. kind of fine. So, see how hot is that water getting?
It's cool.
What, did the devil arrive?
No. Corey.
Oh, hey, we got Corey, we got Dub C. Welcome to the stream, guys. So this was one of those, like, I should just stop looking at eBay, because there's always going to be something that I need for the collection, and this isn't anything really that special. It's just a gap, you know, so.
Well, eBay is a torture for me, because I look at stuff that I just want. You want to pull this out of the way?
Oh, I think these are a little rougher looking
Than the last ones?
I thought they'd be.
Do you need this over here, or?
Yeah, that can just go off. Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. So, what do we got? We got
something old, probably. 2001?
We got
no.
packed 8259 inspection September of 2001.
So late 98.
So we got, that's a case of B's. Right here we got a case of A's. So these are complete except for one.
So those are then the first generation?
It's mislabeled. Wait, what?
Are these the first generation tan bags?
So these are within a couple years of the start of the tan bags. There's nothing really super special about 1998. These would have been made probably too late to go into Bosnia.
Well, that was the latest bomblet, wasn't it? Bomblet?
The bomblet?
Was that the last year for the bomblet?
No, that was 2008.
Ah.
So we got another decade there before the bomblet stopped. These are right in the middle. It's just I didn't have an A and B case in 98. Hey, the very first one I pulled out. Frankfurters. 5 Fingers of Death right there. Still was a menu in 98.
Are they the really smoky ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got beef ravioli.
I wish they had a more smoky.
So that's just split right down the side. Overall, I looked at the indicator on this.
Yep, red. Is it all? Is it all black? Or all red? All dark?
So tell me. Let's see. There we go. Tell me. Is the center darker than the outer ring?
Now that's heat stress, right? Or is that...
Yeah. So this is pushed itself as far as the heat indicator will go.
They don't look loaded though. Well, this does look like the whole box is a little poofy.
The case, you know, I mean, the packaging seems fine. It's just,
but
that one's pretty brittle.
The food inside will be hot too, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume that these are going to be in great condition. I wouldn't think these are edible. I mean, yeah, they might be edible, but hey, Pat, Ronald, welcome to the stream, guys. Final year for the oatmeal cookie bar. Let's see, what else was that?
I know a lot of people love the cookie bar. I liked it, but mine was a little hard.
Oh, so okay, so this was the end of the bars. Which, yeah, they're basically bricks.
Except for the Arctic ration, right? The chocolate covered was still in there. Or am I thinking of something else?
So the meal cold weather, so the last ration cold weather would have been 1998 too, I think. And then the meal cold weather started out after that. And
I might be thinking about the pressed oatmeal bar, the squares, the deep bricks.
I think they still live on in the LRPs and in the MCWs. They definitely still exist in the food packet survival general purpose.
That's just the thing I wonder, since so much military food became commercial food, I wonder why we've never seen some of this stuff, at least in trial, like the cookie bars and stuff. Or maybe they don't have to be that shape because, shelf stable. Maybe you don't have to have them when we go off the grocery shelf.
Yeah, and you don't have to cram 15 of them in the, in your pocket. So.
Still, I think right now that it'd be a huge market of all, military and ex-military to miss them.
Pork chow mein, this was a good one. I very much like that ration. Came with,
I think I've seen that one.
Came with the packet of little chow mein noodles to go along inside. Hey, G. Schultz.
No, he's not here.
Oh.
I think that's where I saw that from. Somebody had it. It was either him or Gundog, I think. More than one person probably had it, but I've seen it. I subscribe to way too many channels. It's not that I hate subscribing to them. I hate that there's only 24 hours.
All right, I'm going to put these under the table.
2022. So 2022 inspection date, I'm thinking then, right?
Oh, wow. This is neat. I'll say, I don't think I've really seen this. Across the case, like stamped in there. Warning code. Hey. The other box doesn't have that stamped on it. They're both Warnicks.
So there's no date stamped on the outside of the bag then? Warnick's known for not having the date on the actual pack on the outside.
Well, now I gotta check. I don't think they do. So these could be technically pieced from other years. If so, let's see.
For other companies. Since they weren't sealed, were they?
Well, I got a picture of the whole guts
of
both, and there was one meal that was the wrong number and type, but it had a black cross through the meal, so that was the thing they did.
That was something they did.
So I wanted to open that and see if it was the missing menu.
Well, there was a funny business with was it tuna or chicken chunks? I know one meal had I can't remember what year. You're going to get a lot of babbling from me.
Oh, by all means, it's helpful.
But I know there was one year they had to sub, I think it was tuna for another menu a lot in one of the rations.
And I think that's what this
and
was.
It was a chicken, I think.
It was an extra tuna. It was like a menu 17 in a 1 through 12 case or something, or a menu 18. Yossi subscribes to 172 channels. Well, you're never lacking something to watch.
You'll catch me eventually. But then again, I'm also a car nut, food nut.
All right, so gonna make some coffee.
There used to be my brother's first job was at a place called Ben's Deli, and the coffee they served, it was out of one of those pump pots.
I don't know why I poured a third. I'm gonna want more coffee in a bit, but
you're gonna want it hot though.
Yeah. Ben's Deli.
Ben's Deli, but they serve coffee out of these pump pots, and I swear you drink them and you'd see noises. I mean, to put it to you this way, it took a lot more creamer than normal just to get it to a color besides coffee colored.
It's gonna be too hot to drink.
And I'm not.
Cheers, I'm putting this down for a bit. Well.
You know, that's the problem. If coffee tasted like it smelled, there'd probably be even more people drinking it. Coffee's like popcorn. People don't like coffee like cream and sugar. Coffee gets cream and sugar in your body. Popcorn without salt,
you mean
styrofoam.
A butter delivery system?
Yeah, butter delivery system. Yeah, popcorn without butter and salt is styrofoam.
Let's see. In the CBs, when the MREs came out, like the tan ones, you mean?
Well, the first MREs were what?
80. Yeah. Though they weren't really.
81.
They weren't really like there's 80 cases and there's 81s, but they weren't really starting to get like bulk made and distributed till I want to say 82.
I want to say 81 just because G. Schultz did a live stream this year sometime where he celebrated the 40th anniversary of the MRE.
Well, the official release was 82, so 80 was the last year for the MCIs, and I believe there was an overlapping first run production of MREs because they weren't going out everywhere.
Which is really probably irresponsible of them because they probably had 10 more years of MCIs to give out. Black with sugar. Anyway.
Menu.
Eventually I'm going to try this.
So if it were, let's see, we don't have menu 41.
What's menu 41?
So menu 40 is the 2020 meals. So this would be So they do consider 1980 to be the start year according to the DLA. So 2020 would be menu number 40. Although no, that would mean it's 1981. So because menu 10 would have been 1990, et cetera, et cetera. So
I think they were working on the packaging for them, because aren't LRPs and those types older, or were they different? The outer bag, at least.
So wait,
I could be wrong.
I missed what you were saying.
It's quite. Weren't they putting like LRP, or I should say long? What the hell were they called? LRRPs. Weren't they
the
in
ones,
similar packaging?
Yeah, the ones I have are just regular MRE bags that then that just have a paper sticker on the outside.
But it could. I want to say, weren't they in the 70s they started, or am I full of horse doodles?
So the LRPs started in the 60s and went. I mean, they're still making those, and they went from canvas bags to paper bags to plastic, and been plastic since. There's the green plastic bags, then the darker and lighter, like kind of flimsy plastic bags from like Seal Bag Company and Cadillac. And I want to say, what was it, Delta Foods or something? There was one with a D. And then 90s, the LRP improved, was like 94 through 98 or 99 or 2000. And that's basically the LRP we know now in the MRE style pouch, one meal. Well, they've always been
with the Restore Torch style plastics inside.
Yeah, and they've always been the one meal ration.
Yeah.
The MCW, when it was the RCW, that was a 24-hour ration with two parts but strapped together.
Okay, Cormally says that the LRP started in
the LRRP.
Yeah.
Was the unit. That makes sense. And the long range recon patrol got the long range the long range patrol rations. And
Ronald clarified brown bag, so he's talking early 80s he was in.
Heard myself there. See, I knew I was going to do it.
I'm still sitting here.
I knew I was going to do it.
I apparently hated myself enough to drink black coffee, but I don't hate myself enough to cause damage.
And I have so many packets of sugar and stuff.
I have, still scars from Elio's mouth, so.
So we got something right here. So this, I picked up mainly for one item in it, and happened to get some other things as a bonus that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep with the museum or, what I'll do, but, can't help it sometimes. I don't know what I'm doing there, so.
If I can still feel it through the plastic, it might be a little too hot for me.
So this is, believe it or not, the ration in here is about this big. So the rest of the package is a display case with a couple choice items to, I guess, highlight the dangers of inflation at a large scale level. Oh, well, thank you, I said.
Ooh, is that real bubble wrap, or is it crime against humanity that doesn't pop?
Well, I know what Pete's going to be doing for the rest of the stream.
Oh, no, I tried to give it up years ago. Although, like you said, nobody likes a quitter.
Quitters never win, and winners never quit. Oh, good God. Did she really forget the one thing that this was about?
There's a bag here, is that?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. Was stuck in the box. But that would be hilarious if I got everything else.
That reminds me of all my shopping trips.
So, what we've got here are some framed bills. Let me actually swap over to...
You mean like congressional bills?
Let me swap over here. Pop these out. All right. So we've got right here is this a 100 mark or a 100 million mark? I think this is just 100 marks from 1908. Yeah, got 1908, just a standard 100 mark bill. And then not too far down the road, I want to say this is 1923. We've got a 10 million mark bill. So things had taken a bit of a turn by the time these were printing. And then there's, let's see, a little pouch on the back with what looks like another bill in here.
Now those actual bills or those representations?
Oh, these are actual bills.
Wow.
So here's a $500,000 bill from, this looks like 1921 or something. Wait, no, is this also 20?
So is that a product of inflation, or is that just like a treasury note?
So this was, I'm sure folks have heard about, you know, the Weimar Republic inflation between World War I and II, where there was a point where you could go get a loaf of bread with a wheelbarrow full of cash, you know, and that's where this comes in, where folks were at some point, you know, unable to do basic things with denominations less than, you know, many millions of dollars. So same kind of thing happened in Zimbabwe. Just recently, I've got a bunch of $50 million bills from Zimbabwe, but the idea is, you know, the money becomes worth less and less and less, and you need more and more and more to buy things. And when there's a huge amount of foreign debt and the government prints a ton of money to take care of that debt, you know, they're knowingly increasing the supply and decreasing the value of what's there. So between World War I and II, reparations by the Germans basically completely decimated their economy, among a lot of other things that were happening. But their money went from, you know, being devalued to being so different from the, you know, from the beginning of a shift to the end of a shift, that people were getting paid hourly so that they could go spend that money at lunch, or, you know, have somebody coming and picking it up from work to spend it before it's worth dramatically less by the end of the day. So like that's inflation. That's hyperinflation. I don't know what this is in here. Oh, well, we've got a couple other bills that she sent.
And a quick hi to Kaylin, by the way.
Hey, Kaylin, welcome. So we've got, actually, I'll lay this over here. We'll do another swapsies. So we've got 5 pesos, Japanese government, on what otherwise seems like a perfectly normal $5 bill. The back is 5 pesos. So this was an occupation bill. Not exactly certain where. Does anybody know much about this stuff? So this looks like it would have been World War II, Japanese occupation of somewhere, where they would have been printing up pesos.
Would that be maybe the Philippines?
In centavos.
Since Philippines have large Spanish influence?
Possibly. See, this says military payment certificate.
That was Kaylin's answer, too.
This one is U.S. Let's see, this other Japanese one. So 10 centavos, 5 pesos, and then this one is military script, U.S. military script. So let's see dates on some of these. Says, for use only in United States military establishments by United States authorized personnel in accordance with acceptable rules and regulations. Series 481. 5 cents. Military payment certificate. Doesn't have a date anywhere I can see.
And Callan says she has coins from that period, so maybe would that be World War II? Maybe.
So it does seem similar to World War II bills. The Japanese occupation bills would almost certainly have to be World War II. But the whole look and feel like U.S. currency with Western writing on it. Yeah, with like they look like they're U.S. currency and they've got Western writing, which is just really strange.
I was born in '73. Apparently, show up with there.
So those are chits. The pink one is military script. Yeah, the pink one. So Kalen had sent like U.S. military script in Japan. So it was issued by the states during the occupation of Japan after World War II. And then this appears to be some of this appears to be issued by Japan in places that they were occupying. And then this other one, this one just appears to be generic U.S. military script for use on our own bases overseas, though what date I'm not certain. I'm sure it's something we could look up by the series and that kind of thing. So okay, opening up the actual reason I bought this, which was ta-da! We've got
Life Raft. Whatever it is, it's still very shiny.
Got a Life Raft tablet ration.
So that'd be the one with the milk tablets and the sugar tablets?
So this one, I believe this one has the lipid tablets. Let's see, sucrose acid tablets, sucrose lipid tablets, and the malted milk tablets. So I think Oscar might have just opened one of these or shown us some pictures of one that he had previously opened over on Steve Facebook. Yeah, you can ignore that thing. That's just a bot that I use to tie in this and Twitch. I don't know if this is even working on Twitch today. I'm just gonna check because keys changed. Twitch got hacked.
Good coffee, Yossi.
Oh yeah. This should be cool enough to drink now.
It's pleasantly warm. It's not lukewarm.
Perfect. There we go.
Still warm enough if I blow on it. It seems my glasses. Aletha, hey guys, we will be there shortly. Just hit the turnpike. Oh, you poor thing. Do you need money?
Shortly. There we go. Okay, so we are live on Twitch. That did work, and the titles did come over. We've got nobody on Twitch because I don't know how to really use Twitch right.
I think I've been on Twitch once. I'm not even sure if I signed up.
I use Twitch all the time for other stuff, and I've used it for my home workshop stream, and that got a lot of just randos, which was great. But people don't seem to want to come to this one on Twitch at all. Probably just because I have very little info and I'm in a lesser watched category. So we'll see. We'll figure it all out.
Question from Mr. Yossi. I didn't read the article, but I saw what he was talking about, sort of. I saw the headline.
So the $1 trillion coin makes perfect sense. We'd all just have to close our eyes really hard and pretend that a $1,000 coin is worth literally 1 billion times more. So, did I just drink 1 cup of coffee or did I drink 1 billion cups of coffee? There's no real difference as far as we're concerned there. Those are the same number. That's how this works. Yeah. But hey, $1 trillion coin in this day and age, 7 or however many trillion into the money printing over the last couple years. Yeah, real inflation's probably sitting at 20+% in the States right now, but, that's all right. Smile through this. Now, I'll try not to talk politics, but yeah.
Even if
but to Yossi's point, it is basically the same thing that we're talking about here.
I mean,
spinning up ridiculous currency to pay foreign debt. Though in the case of the Weimar Republic, it was hundreds of trillions of dollars or something ridiculous in, or hundreds of trillions of marks, not dollars. With the value dropping like a stone, a million marks was worth like 15 cents, by a certain point, and less beyond that. So, it's like in Venezuela, the currency dropped off, like a stone at some point. You could essentially have shoe boxes full of money to get breakfast.
Well, mine are more what's what I'm looking for. Mine are more functional concerns. Even if there's some sort of use for it, I wouldn't want to make something like that can fit in someone's pocket.
Yeah.
It's too easy to create chaos that way.
I mean, it's not like, oh, hey, you stole this $1 trillion coin. Well, I'll give you $1 trillion for it.
Yeah, but people have stolen a lot more to get a lot less. Addiction is a bastard.
Very true.
If it can be made of metal, it can be melted.
So, this one's in pretty good shape overall.
And high letha.
Don't need to keep that open. So there we go. We have 2 cases, an A and B case from 1998. We've got some German money and some Japanese money and some American money from World War I, II, and beyond. And we've got...
Was that other little
this one's trash. The other one's not. I'm going to put trash over there. And there were a couple other things coming that I guess didn't make it here in time. I'm trying to think if I left anything up in my office.
Oh, you probably want to mail stuff out too.
Just double checking.
The bubbles work, by the way.
This one other kit. Nope, still traveling. Okay, so I had ordered something else right before this, and it's still wandering around. It looks like. Made it to Philly, though.
Is it in U.S. Postal Service's hands?
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen some weird tracking things go on with mine. Like, it'll be in Chicago, and the next time it's out for delivery, and everything's filled in. Like, it looks like they had made the stops and the scans, but they didn't come out until a couple days after the scans.
That kind of stuff's been happening. Thankfully, most stuff's been making it to me. Before I've been saying there was a train robbery in the Old West where suspects made off with about 20,000 freshly minted $5 gold pieces. Oh yeah, those poor horses. That couldn't have been a whole ton of fun trying to carry those around. 20,000 $5 gold pieces.
Well, they were. I've never had any sizable pieces of gold, but I was told there was the mint, or it was maybe Fort Knox took umbrage with the Die Hard with Samuel L. Jackson, where they had, I'm sure they were just painted bricks, but they had robbed the building in New York that houses some sort of exchange, and he was carrying around a brick fairly easily, and they actually took the 2 actors to either Fort Knox for that exchange or somewhere where they had one, and told them to lift it up just so they could see exactly what they were carrying around.
Yeah, because like a brick of gold like that, oh my God.
It's a solid piece of metal, so.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be, extremely heavy. I know from having had lead weight anchors, for my boat back in Montana, that, a piece of lead like this is like a hold to your chest and walk with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's see, we could probably start doing some cataloging.
Okay.
I want more coffee.
I'm going to go back to my other caffeine.
Trying to think if there's anything else we're missing here. We could probably, probably take a break when Aletha and Jay get here, and let you guys watch a movie while we get a few more things situated and try and figure out exactly what we're gonna do for food. I got some stuff that will be a starter, but we'll probably want to add some more to this mix. I'm trying to think what I should have you guys watching when the time comes, because that's not going to be too far away.
You know, funny, they were talking about the shipping. I forget where I was going with that. God, I would hate to be in my own head. I had ordered a package. I don't think it was very big. I think it was a package of coffee or something. You know, the instant 3-in-1s. And I ordered it from Phoenix, Arizona. And it took 3 days to Philadelphia. It took 8 to get from Philadelphia to Levittown.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I won't talk about the mail because there's still a problem that won't go away with that.
This one's too long. I'm just checking some videos in the background, guys. That one's too long. Nope, we watched that one.
They can still hear us?
Yeah, they can still hear and see us.
Oh, okay.
I just have this down there.
Okay. So y'all see my hair. What should I get next? A reverse mohawk? You know, just a stripe down the middle?
Just cut.
I know I'm just going to cut it.
Cut a patch right down the center.
But right now, once I get it cut, it'll be like a phantom limb for a couple days. I'll reach up for stuff that's not there.
This is only a minute and change. That's not going to be anywhere near enough time. I knew I should have had more of these.
Show them an episode of MASH, the egg episode.
Now
I don't know exactly why that sticks out in my mind. Maybe because I enjoyed it. You know what I'm talking about? You know, farmers were thankful for their presents or something. So I give them a bunch of real eggs where they didn't get the powdered eggs. And it became a whole episode where they were just trying to get the recipes to cook. And I think some brouhaha with somebody knocked over the eggs before anybody could eat them.
I thought in the end they scrambled them all.
They scrambled them all, but it was all knocked over before they could touch them.
Like, yeah, because they wanted to make, you know, everything in the world with eggs, and then, you know, the army armied it. Yeah, I guess this heat sealed training film, that'll be what we give you guys.
You mean like is that the retort pouches?
Yeah. So I apologize for that. No,
Samurai knot on top. That's close to what I have now. Shave only the sides. That sounds weird. Not that I'm not weird.
All right, let's see.
Although it would make my head actually normal sized almost, sort of. Well, not height. And I know how high that is today. No knots, though.
So that's ready for when the time comes.
Drill sergeant holding an open padlock with the caption, "If I had a nickel for every push-up this private will do, he'd leave a rucksack for them to wear while he does them." This came under sniper fire and they knocked the tables over to take cover. And the eggs fell to the ground. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Actually,
something always has to go wrong.
My favorite episode is still probably the Christmas episode. It's just one of those episodes that allows you to, you know, every episode's like that, but, you know, one of those episodes that just yanks your emotions all over the place.
Helps you not hate Charles. That's what that's there for.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't give you anything with Ferret Face to like about the guy, so they had to give you something with Charles.
Ancient.
Oh my God, that's way too much.
Ancient Egyptian or Chinese single braid down the back of the head. Why does that make me think of samurai? No, actually, that's the thing. At my weight, I'm kind of almost like a fat John Belushi.
Nah.
Of course, I think John Belushi wasn't particularly tall. He was a giant of comedy, though. For some reason, Kaylin's haircut makes me think of Harry Krishna's, whom I've only seen in movies like Midnight Madness.
See, when I think of Krishna's in movies, I think of the
Fez hats.
Dawn of the Dead, where they're all in the where they're all in the mall and there's a couple dead Krishnas wandering.
You know, the funny thing you should say that, there was a movie, I can't remember which one, but I did watch it, but they made fun of Hare Krishnas the whole movie. Like there was a sign of someone whose name was Hare Krishna. And I can't remember which one it was.
It was definitely a thing in the 80s. Okay, so
Sorry.
I was just going to say we'll switch over to doing some cataloging.
Okay. I liked Winchester, but he was better and better off dead.
Oh, God. Was he the...
He was the dad.
Was he?
Yeah.
Mm.
And Booger was the best friend. Excuse me.
The dad? I picture a different guy as the dad.
Are we talking about the same movie?
John Cusack.
Yes.
$2.
Well, they had the neighbor kept looking over the hedge because...
No, you're right. You're right. David Ogden stars. So, all right.
Okay, so since I'm not really good at photographing, you want me to catalog? I am a very fast peck and poke typer.
Okay, so...
Ooh, that is a tiny screen. I can look at it close, though. That's what I do.
Well, we'll be doing... I mean, we can always...
Change the font or something?
Yeah, the size of everything. That. Alright, so we're going on to box...
Airplane.
66.
Was staging oxygen steers in Airplane, or is that a different conversation?
I closed it already.
Oh, well. I know the mom from Leave It to Beaver was. She was the one that translated Jive.
Oh, God. And that's the last we will speak of that.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that movie was bad. Oh, most of the ones that came after kind of were. But I still love campy stuff, so.
All right, so I'm going to pass you some boxes to build a typing surface on.
Okay. What if I laid one flat on a chair?
Up to you.
To give me more surface to...
Up to you, however you want to do it, but then pass me that stack of white boxes.
Oh, sure. Let me, hey. Never listen to AC/DC while you're on eBay. There's one hat. One hat, yeah. And he's sober, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another box.
In the traditional sense.
Trust me, the few times I have alcohol, I just get weirder.
Alright, so a couple things to catalog today. Oh, that's a lot of peanut butter.
The Hare Krishnas, there's Hare Krishnas in airport.
Alright, we got a whole bunch of B units. We've got a miscellaneous collection of foreign rations.
We also have a cataloging offer from Corey.
Up to you.
How that works.
Up to you.
I can do it.
You can stay on top of chat.
I can do both probably, but
never had alcohol in your life. Well, that's probably the best approach. Sorry, I'm like halfway off stream all the time here today.
Let me get this out of the way then. Let me see if I can get this up to my face.
I'd say,
There. Yeah, that's about desk height. Yeah, I can read that.
And, it can get even bigger.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, you don't want it too big. I don't want to have to scroll to find stuff.
Well, it's just going to be...
touchscreen. Fancy.
So we're just going to add one thing at a time.
Okay, are we still in box 64?
We're going to be on 66, item 1. And I'll just call out what to type as we go.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's see. We're going to go over to this cam. And
Twice for me, never been drunk. You told us that. Didn't you work in a bar, Lee, till your mother owned one?
Cataloging. There we go. Okay, so this stuff out in here.
Back in a few minutes. Hurry back, puppy.
All right, so we've got quite the collection of random stuff. I don't know if I have any organization in here, so we're going to find out.
Well, you have me, so you definitely have chaos.
Lawful chaos. That'd be fine.
I would like to say chaotic good.
Oh, I guess you couldn't have lawful chaos. You can have chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil.
Although I have had a, should have, when I got married the first time. And yes, but didn't care to drink. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see, we got some random overlap.
So you're gonna, okay, I see. So if you have like 4 B units, you want B unit times 4. Or whatever, whatever you tell me. Because I see it here, you have times 2. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, there's a mix of stuff.
Yeah, but you have 3 straight margarines instead of having 1 X12.
Oh, over to the right, they've got different years.
Oh, okay, so you need a year too.
Depends.
Gotcha.
Some stuff I'll throw out a year when I know one. Man, some of these things, they're just impossibly dark. You know, like this says stuff.
You mean corroded?
Like just the color of the paint.
Yeah.
You know, is just impossible to get. You know, on camera the actual,
is that like the different colors are problematic with the interpreter? Yeah. Google Translator.
No, I'm just saying like you can't see that it says B unit there.
Oh, okay.
Like
No,
I
I can't.
Can almost see it when you get really close.
Chain smoker rolled his own cigarettes. Not a lot of people roll their own cigarettes now. It's cheaper.
But most of them are going to be in a much more.
Yeah, it's legible. Yeah, you can see it even though it's on the.
But yeah, these are just the color green and the color darker green that they use to write on. Like, it's just how can you even tell?
I see B unit, but it's very washed out.
So dark. All right. So we've got different types here.
I wonder how much they were, Ford man. My mother, why am I talking to the screen? Y'all are over here. My mother said when she bought her first pack of cigarettes, they came out of a machine and they were 12 cents. Compost skim milk can.
There we go.
Remember seeing it stream like 5. So about 50 streams ago.
Yeah, this is that box. I think we might have looked at some of these. Oh, the compos was last one. Does this have a loose compost skim milk? No, it does not. So maybe we were looking at a box that had that at some point. This is a big box of B units. Got a bunch, so it looks like the bottom layer is all the tall ones, mostly B1s and B3s. Only got one of this field ration type C B unit. The tall gold can B unit. Yeah, it's just.
Okay.
I don't want it in the box getting bumped into by other cans.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So it's already
pretty bumpy as it is.
So this is the biscuit confection and beverage U.S. Army Field Ration C. So yeah, this one's definitely a little harder to find these days. And likewise, I've got a supper B unit from an older RCI. Or actually, no, World War II era C ration. Let's see, this would have been, this is L6 cough.
What's an L6 called?
I don't know.
Or is it coffee?
It's So that one is Supper B unit. So it's probably crackers and cookies and cocoa. It might just be a coincidence that the letters on it are COFF.
I think the only B unit I've ever opened, and again, I was a barely teenager, like 10, 11, 12, had cocoa, crackers, and I think peanut butter. I could be wrong. Again, guys, I could possibly be full of horse doodles. It's happened before.
There's a little bit of something on the bottom of this, but yeah. So this is the rest of the box right here. If you guys want to see what I'm deciding through right here. So this is all the tall ones. We'll get to in a minute. So gonna do a big picture together, and then we'll just kind of be pulling one up to the front space for a one at a time shot, and then that way we can repack the box pretty much the same way.
And Fordman, my mother was talking about with the 12-cent cigarettes were probably in the late 50s, early 60s.
12 cents.
Shoot, I used to, as expensive as they are now, I used to be sent by my mother. Remember those days, sent by my mother at the age of 12 because I could see over the counter and go to the 7-Eleven to buy cigarettes at like 90, 95 cents a pack. Actually, I was somewhere in the mid 5-foot mark at 11 or 12.
I remember buying cigarettes for $1.25 a pack, but they were very, very cheap, low quality cigarettes.
You mean like American Spirits?
I want to say no, American Spirits aren't cheap or low quality.
I don't know.
Those are nice cigarettes.
My brother
don't smoke cigarettes. Don't smoke cigarettes. Quitting was one of the smartest things I ever did. Don't smoke cigarettes. But American Spirits are not garbage. But no, like USA Golds and stuff like that. Pyramid, I want to say, was another one.
I can say that you're probably right, because when dollar stores were really first becoming a thing, taxes didn't raise cigarettes so much that they couldn't sell them at the dollar stores.
Yeah, and it was at the same time I was getting those for like $1.25. I think a regular pack of like Camels was like $2.50 or something. But it started changing pretty fast.
Iowa was one of the first states that do believe to tax cigarettes. And I was the first state then to figure out that people would still spend the money.
Yeah, really, it didn't really change the number of people that smoked.
I remember a lot of people threatened to quit when they started getting towards like $4 and $5 a pack, and that didn't happen.
In Philly, when I was still smoking when I moved back out here, it was like $11 a pack or like $10+ a pack.
I've never seen that.
And it's just nuts. But I mean, I think what seems to have driven folks away from cigarettes more effectively has been just a better alternative, with vaping. So
they're starting to come out with ads. Funny you should say that. Just in the last couple of days, I've seen anti-vaping ads.
Oh yeah,
coming on the possibly I guess the chemicals in it are a depressant.
They'll never be happy.
Mm. Well, I will say this. Iowa was one of the first. What's a tunnel? Are you going the wrong way? I know there's a tunnel outside Pittsburgh.
No, there's a tunnel. Did she just get to the tunnel?
That's what she's saying, yeah.
Yeah, so the tunnel is going to be up north of the Mahoning Valley exit, or between the Mahoning Valley and the...
Wait, no, that's not the turnpike itself. That's the extension, right?
No, yeah, they're on the northeast.
Okay,
extension.
I haven't been on there in years, so.
Yeah, they're coming down the northeast extension. So.
Blue Route, all those. Well, the Blue Route was built after, right, to connect the toll roads, or am I full of?
Yeah, Blue Route's like the chunk that goes from the end of the turnpike down to 95. Hey, bus stop, welcome to the stream. And let's see, did I miss anybody else? Probably, but if I missed anybody else coming in, howdy.
I don't know. I've been checking, and because I'm not typing, the scrolling's been going a lot slower. And yes, people, my mind really is that random. Now you have confirmation.
And anybody who's wondering, came in late, who this guy is, it's Curious Pete in the museum in the flesh.
Lots of flesh.
Yellow bus stop.
Guten Tag. And that's about all I remember from 4 years of German. And ein Bier bitte. Although I never want just one beer.
Haben Sie eine Zigaretten, bitte?
Actually,
that I remember. Do you have a cigarette, please?
My brother and his buddy, who were heavy smokers, every time they were at the bar would say that before going out to light one up, because that was after they'd stopped. Pennsylvania had the smoking laws. You had to be a private club to have smoking, and then no kids and no food.
It's crazy how it all changed, but yeah.
Well, some of it's for the better.
It's like I look at it as, so I'm a freedom nut, so I look at it as like I could have continued to choose to go places where there wasn't smoking, but
Grey Wolf Outdoors is here. Hello, Grey Wolf.
That's where I stand. But after years of it being gone, it is really jarring when you run into like smoke in front of a restaurant or something. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. This used to be normal everywhere.
You're never late if we're still here. Well, he's still here. I'm usually not, but I'm usually in the. You know what I mean.
Grey Wolf Outdoors. Are you new? I can't remember. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day.
Oh, wait a second. I'm in like at least 3 streams a week. So obviously Smokies and Kalen's, and then.
Oh man, this coffee is hitting the spot. Thanks again, Yossi, for the endless supply of instant Arabica that we've got going on.
Yeah, I try not to drink too much. A weird story. I was hyperactive as a kid, so if I drink too much coffee, I get tired.
Yeah, oh no, I get that too. At night, sometimes I'll slam some coffee at like midnight just to fall asleep. All right, so we've got some B units here, if you guys can't tell. Also got all this peanut butter with it. I think I'll keep it with these. Most of them
and I would be willing to bet at least 3/4 of those peanut butters are good, if not all of them.
Oh, I bet you anything that doesn't have a direct hole.
As long as the can's not compromised. I'd say they would get, my seal of approval just next to honey. And apparently they said honey's not as...
So, yeah, honey will last.
Signed out.
Honey will last for a long time.
Can I just sign in?
Wait, what's going on?
It just said sign me out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm going to have to probably punch something in.
So I'm probably just have to move the mouse so it doesn't time out. Is that
it should be fine. It's just... maybe my computer at home woke up and it kicked this one off.
Okay.
There you go. Or it's been weeks since I signed in on it or something. Smokey's opened up some of the peanut butter cans. Yeah, so I was going to show you guys. Let's see if this steadies.
And Fordman, I'm blind as a bat, so I don't. I'm not serviceable either.
So we got Kern Foods.
Or I should say nearsighted.
Is one of those companies that's been around for as long as the Army's had peanut butter in its rations. It's had Kern Foods around, and it's like D.D. Bean and Sons. They're gonna make the matches, and some of those companies, Dry Mix is one of those that was around for the longest time, but you don't really see them anymore. Smooth Fruit Company. So this right here is a post-war RCI B unit. This one is 57. So, just known as Booth Fruit Company, tall B unit, 57. In this style, definitely was an RC. Definitely came out of an RCI.
Yeah, I think I've seen you in Smokies. Very well. I know I've seen your name recently.
And then we got another company that was, super popular. I mean, super prevalent through World War II. Let's see. The Van Brode Milling Company there. So that was another one that was everywhere that you don't really see anymore. Natural Storage. Let's see. Just other names on here trying to jump out.
It brought me all the way back down to the...
SoPatco forever.
First. Let me know when you want to record.
Oh, you can hit Control and down at the same time.
Control and down.
And that'll take you to the last entry in that column.
It took me down to 38.
There must be a gap. Hit it again.
And we're at Apollo program placard.
Oh, there's that happened.
There you go, 65 bucks. Okay, so it's,
one more line will be there.
There we go.
All right. I guess we did the same thing a bunch of times there. Okay. See an old gold can. Yeah, you do. So this one right here, this is the only one of these in the pile. So this is a World War II Field Ration CB unit in the gold can. Not one of the British ones, which look very, very similar. I think they're taller, though. I can't recall. But this is just the miscellaneous, not tied to any direct ration B unit pile, mainly to catalog the variety there is across the labels and styles. So just things like this, you know, I want a record of like, it's a shame it's not wanting to focus as easily this week. So like this B2 unit, there we go. You guys can see it's lightly stamped B2 unit. The letters are actually a little, well, I'm trying to show that the letters are fuzzy, but of course, there we go. Even focused, it's still fuzzy. But, you know, that's just a tiny little stamp, you know, and then there's this style where, you know, all it says is B2 unit, but it's, you know, dramatically bigger than the tiny little writing on that one, you know. So, just cataloging all these differences. And we've got, you know, the ones that have all kinds of contents on them. We've got the ones that are basically impossible to see from the Korean War era. Although, actually, this is 166. This is 166. Could be January 66. It could be nothing. It could be, you know, but I thought those dark cans were Korean War era, which would have been like, you know, 51, 52, not 66. Though they could just be from that era. We've got the bigger cans that are almost as dark as that are stamped 55. This one, though, another one up here, we've got stamped 266. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say these super dark cans are 1966. But let me get a couple pictures of this whole pile to start this out, and then we'll start going can by can by can through here. And
so many crackers in early M5. How many crackers?
oh god, there's a lot of crackers. Depends on. Yeah, in the MCIs, you know, it was mainly like, here's a can of crackers and cheese. Seemed to be like what you got, you know, in a lot of them. Or, well, the cheese would be, you know, on the outside. But those crackers had some good salt. I was always a fan of those. See, fingertips are getting a little dirty, but it's mostly just dust. These were out on a shelf for
That
years.
is the dust of history.
66 was a good year. That's when we got Kalen. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start shifting these to the side, and I'll try and focus on one right here at a time.
Speaking of you going back to the Korean War, I kept trying to think of where I've heard DB being. I've heard it a couple times here, but it seems to me I haven't heard it much outside of this stream. And then it hit me. It was a company that was named over the loudspeaker in the MASH movie.
Oh, really?
I think there was something.
Uh-oh. Just had one of our lights go out.
Okay, so it's not the Rapture then. 93. I was 20 in 93.
I turned 11 at the end of 93.
So I hadn't drank anything yet. You can trust me on that. Why am I always looking at the TV? You guys are over here.
I do the same thing. The TV is just so much easier to read. All right. That should hopefully work for a little while. The power in this building is bad.
Mm.
You know, so
Well, this is a really old building.
Oh yeah, this is like 200 plus years old.
Although I'm sure they didn't have to drop ceilings.
No, that was all put in by a guy named Paul in the 70s.
That reminds me of, when you go into older buildings, they have the small.
Well, that just may keep on happening.
Smaller rooms.
Let me give it one more shot.
You know, when I was a kid, I went to the Thompson Neely House, which is in Washington Crossing. And when you go in, all the rooms are really short. Like the doorways and everything are barely 6 feet. And then when I was a kid, I believe that maybe they were shorter in the 17 and 1600s when it was built. But no, apparently, and it makes sense, they're easier to heat that way when you have fire for heat. by the way, Washington's Crossing, if you don't know, is exactly what it sounds like. If you see the picture of the Washington in a rowboat, that was near the monument that's there now. It's called Bowman's Tower, and it's near the lookout for them looking over the Delaware River into New Jersey. Beautiful area. I would suggest going it if you're there.
All right. If this goes again, now we'll just call that the end of that light for now, which is a shame. Those lights are like $20 each or something, just to make things a little more even in here, and to kind of drown out the lights that leave like those horizontal bands across everything. So, all right, grabbing a couple photos of the pile, and then we'll start going one by one.
Yeah, just let me know when to start typing.
Because these like up close, let's look at 40 things at once kind of photos, you know, they tend to make good backgrounds for stuff later on. All right, so that's that. Now we'll just kind of make a spot. We're going to start out with U.S. Army Field Ration C. Let's see. So we've got, I don't know if we want to just start all these off with B unit.
Okay. So how do you have B unit written here? I know I saw it.
I mean, don't worry, don't overthink it.
Okay.
You know, this is just the like raw record of what's here.
Okay.
All of this is going to have to get fleshed out with a lot more detail and specifics at some point. So if you just put B unit, and then
where's the dash?
Some master hunt and peck.
I don't.
I'm a little.
I don't have. You gotta understand. I worked on a computer for 15 years. Then about a couple years after that, I couldn't afford to buy one. So I've actually been okay. Let me try this again.
So we'll do B unit, C ration, and then for the year 1943.
C ration.
Or field ration C. Yeah, C ration's fine. C ration's fine.
Well, we all know what you're talking about. And did you say 1966?
43.
43. Where did I get 66? 1943. Oops. Yeah.
So we'll make sure we're looking at the right section. Get a little closer to it.
And each of these is, yeah.
There we go. Now you guys should be able to actually see what.
Ben, did you go and come back? I think you were here at the start of the stream just before we started. But if you did, welcome.
Hey, Ben. Time for some coffee instant. Yeah, let's see. Am I out? I am. Should I have a third giant cup? Maybe not just yet. All right, so I'm going to put this one back in. Next one is going to be B unit.
Is it another C ration?
No, that's the only one that's going to be C ration.
Darn it, because it autofilled and I wouldn't have to type it. No, it's that one.
Let's see. And actually, we'll do the numbers from here on out because the rest of them have them. That was the only one that's just B unit, just because there was only the B unit at that point. So let's see.
And you also want what meal it goes with, like dinner, lunch, supper?
I'll turn off us for now.
Okay.
Just because we're both going to be on the edges of it. So this one is going to be just B-1 unit, 1966.
Oh, B.
Or we can say B-1 unit and then.
Oops, not U-bit.
And then I'd say in parentheses, just put dark after that. And then the year 66.
That's probably where I came up with 1966. Oops. Not 19666.
And we could use some good luck.
Well, I don't want to brag, but
Alright.
I have lottery tickets in my wallet that haven't been checked yet, so they're still Schrodinger's papers.
So you won the lottery and lost the lottery at the same time until you check those. Sitting next to a billionaire here, guys. Alright, so same thing, but this time it's a B3 unit.
Pup better come back, doggies, pretty dresses.
So B3 unit, dark, 1966.
Puppy! Anyway, did you say B3 unit?
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I wait for a second. B3 unit, any print, or is it just
Yeah,
B3 unit?
B3 unit, dark, 1966. And then B2 unit, dark, 1966.
Is that another one or the same one?
Yeah, different line.
Wait, oh, you have, okay, so the last one I wrote down was the B unit, B1 unit.
We're doing all three.
So you have all three? So you want me to put them in order?
Yeah.
Okay, then let me back that up.
Well, no. I mean, just the order that I'm taking the photos. So that
Okay, so the B3 was after the B1 and then the B2.
Yep.
Okay. I'll get the hang of this. It's just been a little while. I've been using my phone as a computer for like a year and a half now.
I mean, in another 10 years, everybody will be pretty much only phones and tablets and stuff.
I don't have the eyesight for that or the patience. So they're all 1966 too?
Yep. And let's see. This one says RB and Co. Doesn't have a date. It's bulged. Jam, cookies, crackers, coffee, milk, sugar. This one. Oh no, it does have a date. I saw that in the scratch there.
So that's the 6th. And would you say that was... I have B1, 3, and 2.
So this one is going to be B3.
B3 unit. Says
And then in parentheses we'll say RB and Co. So like Robert Baker and Company. I don't know, but probably. No, I'm not sure what that would stand for.
oh, please don't. I'm going to get the cursor back. I'm going to have to type the whole darn thing again. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not. Am I? Huh. Why is it not? There we go. Okay. Where is this?
I don't know.
Okay, there's...
Just can't use the arrow keys while you're in a cell, or it just
Yeah,
goes to
I
another
couldn't
cell.
figure out how to get the cursor back. Okay, now what's in parentheses again? DB?
So this is B3 unit RB and Co. 1951.
Ampersand?
Yep.
And it's 1951. Oh, wait, that's a bracket. No, it's not. Okay. And now it won't let me move. There we go. Okay. And did you say 66 or 51?
51.
Okay. And now it's back to normal. Okay.
So trying to find other ones that look like that one. They're in that era.
Trying to keep the
Because if we have more than one, then we can just do times 2. Okay, so let's see, we do have another one that we can call times 2. Let's see, any more? B3, 1951, RB. No. All right, so let's just do...
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was more than one?
Yep, and then...
Okay, sorry, I thought for a second. And now for some reason, every time we try to get a cursor back, for some reason the arrow keys won't work.
Hit enter.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I figured it out.
Alright, this is a B2 unit.
Oh. B2 unit. Shit. I mean, darn.
Yeah, watch that one. But that, don't worry about it. Hey, Rachel, welcome to the stream. See, just making sure I haven't had any.
You need any more parent for this one, the B2 unit? I was trying to get the type back. It auto-filled on me.
Nope, just B2 unit. We're going to go with 1951.
Give me a second here. Oh. Okay. Okay. Box 66. 7. All right, Rachel. Oh, they can't see us, that's right.
Not at the moment. We can come back on for a sec. Howdy, howdy, howdy. All right, so that one was B2 unit.
1951.
Yep, with no other notes. And then we'll go, let's see, got 1, 2, all right, we're going to go 2X B1 unit Van Brode milling. And I'll put one over here.
And you want print?
Yeah, the parentheses will be Van Brode.
Van Brode milling. Do you want the whole thing?
Sure. Just Van Brode milling should be enough. Then we know. For now, if we search for that, we'll find it.
And what year is this?
These are. I'm not spotting.
I don't either.
Let me see.
Would it be an odd place?
No, it would be on the top. The other one had like the slightest hint of a 1, maybe, but
No, I'm not even feeling any.
They don't necessarily all have a date. So, knowing that these are Van Brode should be enough.
Okay. Do you want me to leave the date blank then?
Yeah, just leave it blank.
Okay. Oops.
All right, and then we'll go. These are. We've got B1 unit crackers, candy, peanut butter.
B1 unit.
Just B1 unit and the date.
Do you just want B1 unit, or do you want me to say what's in it?
Oh, you can just say B1 unit.
Okay.
We'll never really have to say like contents.
Okay.
There is something there.
What date?
So I see 234.
Would they have those cans in World War I?
This definitely wouldn't be.
Wait, it wouldn't be World
No.
War
It wouldn't be
I.
World
It'd
War
be
I.
civilian.
But it wouldn't be. It's not 1934. Definitely not 1934 in this can. But the date is not really easy to tell. It might be 61. Seems almost like a 0 there. So let's see if it's even possible to get a. So the date is in the R, basically.
Yeah, that's not close enough for me to see. In the R?
Yeah, it's not standing out.
Yeah, it's not really.
So we've got just the shape of it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 61.
Okay. The summer of 61. Oops, wrong year. Oh.
That was the only one of that.
See you later, Fordman.
Well, good having you. Take it easy. Let's see, so we've got the Booth Fruit Company ones. We've got these two. Let's see, do we have any others? Storage. We've got another Booth. Got different style Booth Fruit Company. I'll put that to the side. All right, so we'll do these next.
Should get myself a t-shirt. Will work for rations, and then just run myself out to the streamers for keeping an eye on the crawl.
In-person moderator.
Well, I'd have to have the blue thingy.
This one I think probably came out of one of the ones that I was salvaging. That's a possibility.
What is it?
So this is a RCI B1 unit, Booth Fruit Company. So snap some pictures of that.
TH or THE?
THE. 1957.
$57?
Yep.
Okay.
And then 2X of the next one, which is going to be B2 unit, also Booth Fruit Company, also RCI, also 1957. So only thing different is the 2.
2X RCI. I didn't want to do that. There, I just. Okay, so RCI
B2 unit, Booth Fruit Company.
2. The hell? Oh, you got to get me. Okay. For some strange reason. Okay. So RCI B2 unit. Oops, not untie.
See if you guys can see the 57. There we go.
Okay. So, do I have to... I'm just trying to figure out... That's what I keep doing wrong. I see something I have to correct.
Don't worry too much about correcting. If we got a rough idea, then we're good.
You know what? What the hell?
I don't know. Hit escape before it saves it.
Where? Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, don't worry about that parenthesis.
Well, no, I wasn't worried about the parentheses. I was worried about making sure that I got the 2X. That's what I was missing. And that was a 57 while I'm there?
Yep.
Okay.
This is good. They're actually going back in some semblance of a order. Oh, we'll do one more. Booth Fruit Company. This one's a 55.
Give me 1 second. And then another, because I'm slow at typing. Heck and Poke still doesn't beat the home key stuff.
Just getting some dust off this.
2X.
So this one's got one of those darker but more legible than...
6, 11. So what's this bad boy?
So this is a B2 unit, RCI, Booth Fruit Company. Just one of them, 1955.
Oh, okay, different year. I was going to say we just... So it's an RCI. B2. Oops.
And the hope with this is that, you know, somebody can be like, well, what do they look like in such and such year? And we'll have an example, you know. This one's Natural Storage Company. Any others with that marking? We got 2 more of these 51s. This one is in...
Oops.
I feel like I brought poor Pete in just to torture him.
It's just that this... If it's in blue, I don't know how to get rid of the auto fill. Oops, there. And it keeps filling like it. The last entry was the same as the entry before that description, except it doesn't have the 2X. So it left the 2X in there. So it's telling me right now you got 2 of them.
It's just a little finicky.
And that was already crazy. That's not going to change anything. And that was a 55, right?
That last one was, yeah, 55.
Okay.
And we'll do this Natural Storage Company.
Natural.
So this one's going to be a B3 unit, Natural Storage Company. 1959. Yeah, there you go. You can see the 59 there. Cookies, cocoa beverage powder, and jam. So cookies in these things, I mean, these are tempting, you know. So they're either going to be one of 2 styles of cookies, and for this era, they're probably going to be like the chocolate chip.
Is this still the B3
cookies.
unit?
Yep. So this is the B3 unit, Natural Storage Company.
And I got that down.
1959.
59.
Okay, so I'll take some quick pictures of this. So this
Hey, Dave. Oh, booger butt.
Hey, Dave.
Another booger butt.
Let's see, we're going to go on to a B3 unit, 19...
Dave, that doesn't really sound appetizing to me, but hey, I'd still try it.
Did you say 1928? No. It sure as hell does. No, it says...
And for those who just joining, I'm Pete, and I am curious.
It says 1928. And then no additional... Oh, wait, no, there's that is... Huh. I'm having a hard time... Oh, sorry, guys. Having a hard time making out the year on this.
Okay, now what is that? Is that the same one, right?
So it's... This one's recessed. 1928.
What is
and then
it?
It almost looks like there's a 5 or a 6 after it. So this is a B3 unit. And the only thing that's going to jump out is the date. You know, this is where like an infrared camera would be great. Or,
so this is just a B3 unit, that's the description? Or is there something you want to add?
Oh, I have it upside down. So this one, yeah, nothing else, just B3 unit.
And 1928?
Yeah, definitely not going to be a 28. I'm trying upside down. No, because that would be 91, or I mean 61. I'm assuming that it's not a date code, so we'll just say B3 unit.
What are you saying now? Dave's got me all discombobulated.
1028 or 1928. It's just, this can't be 1928. They wouldn't have looked like this. There must just be another number on there, and it must not be a date code.
Bologna's good, chocolate's good, but those are two great tastes that should never be together.
Bologna, chocolate bologna?
That's what he was saying, yeah.
I don't think I would try that. Would the bologna still be soft?
Well, when you say soft bologna, do you mean like that mushy texture that what the hell they call it? Vienna fingers have? Vienna sausage?
Yeah.
Not Vienna sausages, fingers. Those are two very different things.
Well, Vienna sausages are awesome. All right, so come on, give me a picture. There we go. So yeah, this is just B3 unit.
And no date?
No date.
Okay.
It'll just be on its own. I'll be able to match it up to these pictures, and then we'll be good. This next one is going to be B1 unit.
Hey, Sean, how would you like an older version of my Feast of the Holidays ration? Feast of the Holiday ration.
That sounds good. Is it a homemade?
I'd imagine.
Feast of the Holidays. Sounds good. So this one looks, let's see, it looks exactly like this one, which is dated 51. This one's missing the third digit, so I'm going to call this a 51 as well.
The one that I don't have a date on?
No, that one we're just leaving as B3 unit. This
okay,
is,
what is that?
This is B1 unit. Let's see. This will just be B1 unit 1951.
Come on, there we go. I think I figured out how to...
It is looking like it leaked a little bit, so it probably has jam, coffee, sugar, crackers, Coke, milk, jam, cocoa, milk. Yeah, I guess like soluble.
Did you meet up with Ration Museum? If you get a minute during the break or just during the week, can you take measurements of one of your compo boxes? I have no idea if I have the room for mine.
Sure. Yeah, I can get you measurements, Corey, on the compo box. All right, this one's a B3 unit, also 1951. So we should have a B1 unit, 1951.
You have a B1 unit, 1951.
No.
So did you just say that's B3?
Yep.
1951?
Yep. Let's see, there we go. Focus, B3 unit. This one's September 1951, but 1951 is all we need there. This one's got a sizable dent.
You know, on a side note, I drank that coffee and then I went into my Pepsi, and now I got a taste in my mouth similar to the old Pepsi Kona that they tried to sell.
Remember
in the
Pepsi
mid-90s.
Kona? I like that stuff.
And not everybody who was, hey, Rachel. Sorry.
Oh, okay. We'll let you see him again. We'll let you see him again. Wait. All right. Hey. Let's see. So we got. This is a. Oh, come on. There we go. Focus. So this one says supper up top. Save key to open main, I think is what that says.
What is it?
To open M unit.
Is it M unit?
So this would have been, this is from like a, just a straight up C ration or like a 10-in-1. This possibly would have been out of like a 10-in-1 or a 5-in-1.
C ration is the precursor to the MCI, or are they the same thing?
Yeah, C ration, there were C rations in World War II that were just straight up ration type C. And then after that was the RCI, the Ration Combat Individuals started, was also the C ration. So like, MCIs were called Cs. MRE is technically the C ration of today. So.
Ooh, so what do you want me to call this?
So we can call this World War II C ration, or just call it just C ration. So this is a Supper B unit C ration, just because it's the only one that's going to be marked Supper. Would like to have more.
And what date was that?
So this is not dated.
Okay.
Oh, and this one I keep in foam just because it is the only one like this that I have.
Okay. I know they fairly well. They're all fairly rare now that they're old, but
those are probably at this point I would say like 150, 250 a can or something like that if you find one. So that's the craziest thing.
And it's for something you're not going to eat.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I understand.
Oh, you don't want to know.
I understand how collection works. About 15, 20 years ago, a locomobile went across auction in Hershey, and you could see the tires were rotten off the rims, but it was an original Survivor. And somebody paid 6 figures for it.
Oh, geez.
Even though it could never really be restored. They were never going to use it as a car again.
That's what people do. All right, so this one is just B3 unit, 1966.
Did you already have those?
There was a set of 66s up front, but they were marked dark.
Oh, yes. Okay.
This one is
and that's 1966.
Yeah, this one's not.
The year of the
dark.
monkeys, I think.
When they broke onto the scene?
When they started the TV show.
Oh, God. The Monkeys TV show.
They're still touring. Actually, a couple years ago, they did a great album where they had contemporary writers writing songs. And it was quite catchy. Hi to all the Monkeys fans, if you can hear me.
So, yeah, I mean, like, this is one of those examples of, like, how much more plain could this really get?
And what do you call it? Is that still the 66?
Yeah, this is just B3 unit, 1966.
Okay.
Not dark. Okay, now we're into all the smaller cans.
Like the peanut butter?
So, or like all the smaller B units.
Oh.
We got through all the tall ones, the lower layer. I'm going to put the cardboard back in here, but we'll take one last gander in at all of those. There was only one gap for any in there, so actually, I'm going to put. Oh no, can't change the. Yeah, I can change the in the box. So I'm going to put that in there and put down in this corner the one that we already cataloged here that goes with the other two. So we have a B1, B2, and B1, B2, and B3 from this super dark can set.
Rachel, I'm curious about everything. I'm a slave to information.
Slave to information.
Having a conversation with me is like having a conversation with 20 different people.
Raspberry contest with your grandson. I don't even know what that is. What is a raspberry contest?
It's like a picking?
Oh, like, like that or something. Oh, yeah. Like
reminds me of the Razzies Awards. For some of the worst.
Sorry to hear you're not feeling great, Rachel. Hope things keep going up or getting better. And hey, JW Speaker. Oh, wait, you've been. Well, welcome back if you were gone. I don't think you were gone. But,
And to answer your question, I only use that name because Repeaty was so generic. I just got bored of it. That was my first screen name.
Repeaty?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I only put it on there because I was only on YouTube to watch videos, which is how I'm still doing it. But, eventually I'm going to try to make them.
I used to make all kinds of other stuff. It's just I kept looking. I mean, I finally, like last year, said, why am I putting all this effort into all these other things while the museum needs so much? So just switched everything to this for, however long it takes to get off the ground. So let's see. Moving on into
small cans.
Smaller cans. Let's see. We've got some that go together. 69, 71, 69. Never seen, or I mean, not never. I've held this and looked at it before, but open at other end. That's interesting. That they would care. Probably that the inner can, like a can of something inside there, is, better to get from the other side.
You mean like a cookie on top of peanut butter or something? Or crackers on top of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the weird one. The B2 unit, in parentheses, tiny label.
Hey, I like Corky. One of my favorite bands is They Might Be Giants.
Yeah, I love They Might Be Giants. I've had the good luck of seeing them live quite a few times.
Does it have a date?
1966.
Okay. You know, I was going to see them a couple years ago. Actually, more than a couple years ago. A couple years ago could be 5, it could be 20. Although technically a couple is 2. But they were playing at the TLA once, and I put it into my head and then forgot about it.
Well, I've seen them at the TLA, so it probably wasn't the same set I'm talking about. That would have been 15 plus years ago.
And it may have been, because I think I was somewhere in my 20s to 30s when I saw it. Saw the sign. You know, I was with a couple buddies. And I've only been to the TLA twice for the same band with a couple different people. It was, oh God, what's that? It's a hair metal tribute band. Steel Panther.
Oh God, Steel Panther. Oh, shoot. We're going to need to go way back up to like item 3 probably. Well, let's see.
One of the darks.
One of the dark ones. The B2.
B2?
We're gonna call that times 2. One of these is not good. One of these is good. But I'm gonna put that just because I found that separate one.
Okay. Do you need to edit any more, or can I go back to item 19?
You can go back to 19.
Okay. So that was a tall can?
That was no, it was a short one, but it was the same as those other dark ones.
Okay. Tell the truth, I'm jealous of George. I must have missed something.
Jealous of George. Oh, Curious George.
Oh.
Forgetting the name, I guess.
You know, it's a sad story about Curious George. His creator, I believe, or his artist, was shot outside his own home.
Oh, jeez.
Sad thing to hear about such a lovable series.
This has that same crazy date style. This is 01224. So yeah. Okay. So that other one definitely wasn't from 1928.
Okay. What are we working on here?
So we'll call this just B2 unit.
Okay.
Yeah, no date, no anything else, just B2 unit. And the pictures will tie in timing-wise. Got a lot of work tying all these pictures to these sessions at some point.
See you in a few, Letha. Just got to concentrate for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Probably the last chunk of the journey.
Yeah.
Hopefully last chunk of the journey. Getting through, getting off the turnpike hopefully was a while ago, and then taking 76 into the city and all that stuff. And 676, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that was the B2 unit. we're going to go to 3A unit. Got a bunch of those. B2 Sopecco. B2 Sopecco. All right. This is a 78, and this is also 78. So we have 2X. Let me see, still in sync? Yep. 2X B2 unit Sopecco, or Southern Packaging and Storage. I assume Sopecco would be better.
That'd be easier to type. What year?
1978.
That was the great year if you were a Star Blazers fan. I think that's the year they came to the U.S. I don't know, I just remember running home to see it from grade school.
I have a very groovy theme song playing in my head.
Well, if somebody calls me right now, I don't have my phone on silent because nobody ever calls me. The theme will belt out from, I believe, the second series.
So
Become Empire.
So this one, B2 unit, Southern Packaging and Storage, so same thing, B2 unit, Sopecco, if you want to just copy that last one. This is 1974. Oh wait, that last one was a 2X, that's right. This is just one.
Okay. B2...
I think this was a little lower last time.
Sopecco. 1974?
Yep. Crackers, cocoa beverage powder.
I think that's what I had. Although I think mine did have peanut butter. Alright, Viper, yes, many B units.
Yep, almost through the B units. Good to catalog all the different makers across the years, though. Alright, this one is B1 unit, Sopecco, 1974, so just did one.
This is box 66.
Yep.
Usually I have that stuff ready. That's why I was oopsing. So it's a B1 Sopecco?
Yep. And you don't have to worry about the 66. We can copy paste that across the whole column when we get there if we need to.
Oops. Oh, okay. It started to autofill on me. I have trouble with that. I think I figured that out, though. And that's a 1974?
Yep. Then we're going to go B3 unit, dry mix, DRIMIX.
B3. DRI mix?
Yep. It's neat. These have like kind of a
What's the year?
staple looking end. This one is 1979. So it's just B3 unit up top, small print, and then crackers and candy. See the 1979 right there. Dry mix.
Is Dry Mix the company?
Yeah. Then we've got these weird ones.
Mr. Viper wants you to pop one. Or he wants you to pop OE.
Pop OE.
Yeah, I corrected it.
Pop one, pop one. Ah. No, I don't think so.
Just remember, once you pop, you can't stop, and these are very rare.
Though the peanut butter, we have a lot of the peanut butter.
Is it from the same lot, or is it a
We
lot?
probably have some overlap in here. And we have lots of crackers, and we have P38s. Though I'd feel bad if we did a peanut butter without using the smooth edge can opener and being able to just pop the top right back on.
Just out of curiosity, I'm doing this for a second, because I had swore, although it's not polite to swear.
You got a P38 in there?
No, it appears I took it out. What the hell's this?
Pin numbers.
No, it's a friend of mine from my house in Ohio. Oh, wait. Is it in amongst my wheat pennies?
Got a wheat penny pouch.
Actually, I'm really pissed off because I had a wheat penny that I had a zippered pouch, but the zipper broke, and I lost 2 wheat pennies. One from 1918. They're wheat pennies I found on the floor working at Walmart. But one was from 1918 and one was from 1940 something. Half the last letter was missing. So it wasn't in pristine condition. It wasn't sending me to college. But the week after I lost my 1918 penny, I found a 1919. So some kid probably got into their parents' coin collection. Nah, don't do it. I was just saying that I have 20 and still haven't opened one.
So we're
okay.
So we're doing.
Last thing I did was the dry mix.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is B3A unit.
B3A.
And then, just because this one is different, we're going to do open other end in parentheses, and there's 2 of these.
And what year is that?
1969.
Great year for cars. And Bryan Adams.
I like the little, well, okay, so this one has at the ends, that's the little pinch in the seal.
Is that damage, or is that how they finished off the seal?
That's how they finished it off.
Okay.
Probably the 2 points where the heat was concentrated, not sure. So let's see.
It reminds me of the end stitch. Yeah, I've only ever made one thing by sewing, and it was at the blind place down in Center City, half a block from Pete's Pizza. No relation.
Does not want to stay on that end. That's all right. Just like getting a shot of the seam. I'm overdoing it on these anyway. All right, so now we have another B3A unit.
Hold on here.
B3A.
A, okay.
And then this is just, that's all you'll need to write, B3A unit. And then 1971. This one isn't an open at other end.
66. 26. USPS has slowed down mail transit and are continuing to do so until
Christmas, probably.
No, until they get rid of the other guy put in there to destroy the sorting machines.
Oh, got it. So we got a B2 unit from 1969.
I have a B3A. Is that the next one?
B3A was the last one.
Okay, so did you just say B2?
Yep.
Okay.
And the B3A was 1971. The B2 is 69.
And so it's just B2 unit, no print?
Yep, just B2 unit.
Okay. Oops. Overshot a little. 1969?
Yep. And then peanut butter. I have to see which is which when you combine them. Yeah. Peanut butter dating's like impossible.
So Feast of Holidays, which she used to call Megabyte. So it's her custom rations.
I would love to try one of those.
Rachel makes a pretty nice mix of stuff.
We got two 08117s. I got an 07048.
Wait, I'm confused now.
No, I hate peanut butter dating. So, it sounds like a bad game show. Peanut butter dating!
Just let me know when I should start listening to type.
Okay. I'm just looking at what these are stamped with. We got two stamped 2711.
And there's
one with no stamping.
And there's a "You Got It, Sean," I guess, about the discussion with the Feast of Holidays. Sean, when she packs a box, yeah, there's a testimonial from Kaylin about the Megabyte/Feast. Okay, what do we got?
So we got, this one's got no stamping of any kind.
Okay, so it's not going to have a date?
So I'm thinking we just say peanut butter 8X various. Because these aren't, Holy Grail items or anything. We just have a bunch of them.
So you want to put various in the date?
Looking exterior.
Sean?
Yeah, I'd say just 8X peanut butter, and then date various. They're all Kern foods, so there's nothing out of the ordinary there. I'm just gonna do a picture of all 8 of them in one spot.
Is that the last thing in the box?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't need another 66.
This will finish out box 66.
So next one's 67, or are you going around and are you redoing them old boxes?
We'll do 67 next.
Okay. Oops.
I'm going to put the greasiest ones at the very bottom of the pile.
I got dates, but no canned peanut butter. There was a guy on TikTok who makes old recipes that made a date cream from an old recipe book. It looked like a pudding with chopped dates in it. Is that what you're talking about, the fruit?
Chopped date pudding.
Well, it was mostly like a vanilla sugar deal, but it had chopped dates in it.
Are you asking me? I'm not talking about what?
No, Kaylin has said
okay.
she got dates, but not canned peanut butter. Yes.
I'm just bagging up the peanut butter just because you never know.
When you say you mean it's a little oily, or is there a pinhole or something?
It's just it looked like grease on the surface of let's see. It looked like grease on the surface of two of those cans, just in the sense that like oil seeps through and the paint really darkens and seems wet. But it seemed totally dry to the touch and no oiliness. So
maybe another one of the
could have been blue. Yeah, could have been something else.
Yeah.
Could have been something next to it. Could have been it. It's just dried out over the years. So officially finished with box 66.
I understand, but I'm in a state of confusion as I talk to the screen instead of the people.
So there we go. There. You can call this one done.
It's my favorite state.
State of confusion. All right, so we lost Aletha because things got complicated, so she's probably getting closer.
Yes.
We can try and bang out box 67 before they get here.
Okay.
Let me just, you'd think I'd have some moist towelettes. My fingertips have turned dark. I'm going to put up the "Be Right Back" message. Well, actually, talk to Pete. I'll be back.
Weirdly enough, I had the Canadian mint.
You talking to me?
Yeah. You know the little towelettes that they have in Canadian?
Yeah.
I thought they were so neat that I decided to look them up on the internet. So now I have like a couple of bags of Chinese version of them.
Oh, nice.
I should have stuck a couple in my pocket.
I'm a big fan of, I have a big wide collection of just those towelettes. What's that?
Well, soon enough we'll be able to see each other. Or next year sometime. You're only a few hours away by train. So, anybody see any good movies? Well, the only thing I'm waiting for is obviously people know, or maybe forgot because I said it a while ago. Back in May, my oldest brother, had a stroke, and I can leave him for a few hours like I'm here, but his memory is still a little wishy-washy, and his eyesight's not that great. So I have to, make sure he gets fed and stuff right now. Ration Bravo 2.0 is my favorite. Lots of British ration scenes. Is Bravo 2.0 an old war movie? Yeah, those towelettes aren't particularly expensive either. I think I paid something like $4 for 50. Well, we'll make it happen. It just might be a little while.
Thankfully, this time of year, maybe not so much in the middle of the summer, but thankfully this time of year, with the door closed in this conference room, it gets a little warmer than the rest of the basement.
Yeah.
Just walking around out there, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cold in here, which is great for the rations. It stays right around 60, 65 at the most, which, that's perfect. Zero sunlight, zero fluctuation. It's the same temperature all year round. And, moisture-wise, I've got some of those buckets that suck in extra moisture. Name's escaping me at the moment, but I've got those in the museum, so it stays.
Buckets of moisture. Swamp coolers?
No, the water absorbers.
Oh, like the ones you put.
Damp rid.
Okay, yeah.
Would you like a sparkling water? No is fine.
Probably not.
Okay.
I say that because Dollar Tree, that bastion of high quality, now has an 8-pack of Deer Park, some kind of sparkling water with lemon lime, and it would be fantastic. But whatever chemical they put the sparkling in is really chemically.
So these are all right. These are just watermelon. We've got a bunch of caffeinated sparkling water too. But anyway, all right, we're going to jump into box 67.
Okay.
Box 67 is going to be miscellaneous foreign rations.
Ooh.
So eventually all the boxes are going to trade numbers. I'm going to move everything around because there's no order to it. It'll be like 2 boxes of civil defense paper goods, and then the next box is like, South African rations, and then the next box is like, accessory packets. And so we'll move stuff around. Well, I guess it doesn't matter as much, but
Like?
Moisture absorbers, different than oxygen absorbers. Yeah, the damp rid buckets actually fill with water. Excuse me, it's like...
Yeah, it's the same thing. I get them at the Dollar Tree, the moisture absorbers. I had a bathroom that had no ventilation. They didn't put a fan in. So after every shower, it would stay wet. So I had to put a moisture absorber in there.
That's awful. That's got to be pricey over time.
It wasn't really that bad, but it did have, you know, I did have to wipe down stuff a lot more than you would normally have to.
My current bathroom has a drop ceiling that there's nothing above, and then there's a skylight above that. So like, there's no movement of air, but the hot air kind of settles above the drop ceiling, which is probably awful up there. I don't know. The basement where I do the restoration streams, that I finally have a dehumidifier running 24/7 in there, and you know, I'm pulling buckets of water out of the air in the basement just from, you know, being below ground level. So I just don't want things to, you know, eventually go moldy or anything in there, you know.
Well, that was the biggest thing, because the reason the room was so moist. Sorry if anybody hates that word.
Moist.
Is that it was basically a closet. I mean, if I tripped in the bathroom, the first thing I hit, and I'm 6 feet tall, so that's not a big stretch, would be a wall, because it's just, the whole thing's maybe 6 by 6, if that. The whole apartment wasn't very long, maybe 25 feet. It was a little house trailer with 2 rooms and 2 closets. One closet for the bathroom, another one for the kitchen.
Just putting these to the side so they can go back into the case. Same way they came out, pretty
A
much.
dehumidifier in your basement, Rachel? Apologies, but I should know the other gent with me. I'm Curious Pete.
Curious Pete. We got
I've
Curious
been in the
Pete.
stream a lot. This is my first public appearance.
Yeah, we got him out into the world.
But didn't leave me enough time to do my hair, obviously. I look like a mad scientist.
Oh, that's where you are. Found stuff.
There's a surprise in every box.
He's been hiding.
It's like cereals used to be.
He's been hiding. All right, so let's get camera swapped over. Actually, turn this back on so you can keep seeing our lovely faces.
Where we have our canned and preserved items such as water, sauces, rations. Oh, okay.
Yeah, down in the basement with. I mean, like a little tiny humidity is fine for some things, but I mean, with your canned goods and stuff, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, the Sahara Desert outside the can. That'd probably be better. Now, like paper goods, you know, books and cardboard and all that stuff. If you have zero humidity, they dry out, they crack, they go bad. I mean, or not go bad. You know what I mean? Like,
but if you'd rather, you can just call me Nick because we both have glasses, even though I'm like 20 years older.
Yeah, we'll just, you know, I'll clip just this part. You know, so okay, so I replaced Nick with Nick Part 2, and no, Nick will be back at some point, I'm sure. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's he's
a college
he's got
kid,
school and he's got and work. He works here full time,
and
I mean not here museum. Here in this building is where my day job also.
More power to him.
Yeah, he's busy.
If I could have, I would have, but actually not true. We didn't have a whole lot of money, so if I actually had good eyesight, I would have just joined the Navy like my dad was in.
So I've got 2 open South African rations.
So do I want to start with SADF?
South African Defense Forces.
Or is well, you just tell me right to right, and I will continue to butcher it.
I'd say let's just write out South African.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You know what, that's a little too generic.
But, you know, could do South African Defense Forces. We're just going to have
more to type.
going to have 2 of these, both partial, one green, one clear. Let's see. So this one is a 19.
Well, puppy, eventually I'm going to try to do a live somewhere, just kind of a fireside chat, because this is actually, these streams are actually about 90% of my social life.
This is every Sunday for me. So yeah,
well, without family, because family is social.
Is this 81? These might be 81. Though this feels like a 90s one.
Okay, so I'll start out typing out South African. Now that I've focused for a second.
And I know I've opened at least one of these.
You know, if I
dumped
learn how
out
to spell. Okay, South Africa. Or South African. Is that a partial ration or is that full?
They're both partial. So we can say partial opened.
So South African partial open?
Yep.
And you said you think that's a 91?
I was thinking it's an 81, but I'm just really not sure.
Well, that was a good-looking can for 81. That's 40 years. I could be wrong. Remember, I'm the blind one.
So F175 8M.
Okay, according to
G1.
According to
28881.
Cormley, probably 90s. I remember Steve got some 1990s South African.
And these were Steve's. Or at least, or actually, I'm not sure if one of these was his and one of these was mine. He donated a South African, if not both of these, to the museum. So knowing that they're basically the same era, he might have been the one that ate.
I think the middle one.
Both of these. And it's his style to, you know,
send extra goodies.
Keep the labels and stuff.
Oh,
when he sent them my way.
Was that a package of British sweets?
The boiled sweets.
Or was that something else?
It looks like they were not in great shape. This has an 81 on it too, 29H81.
So you think it might be an 81?
This has 85. No, okay.
So those are like
they're
block
just
codes
not.
or something?
Yeah, they're just not dating.
Okay.
Date codes.
So no date.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, let's just keep the date off for now. They're probably, like Corey's saying, 1990, because that was about when Steve got a set of these.
Is the second one going to be a South African too?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. I mean, darn.
I don't have it listed as.
Look, guys, I'm trying real hard, but I was raised by a New Yorker and a sailor / factory worker.
And I don't have it listed as for children, so like it's not the end of the world. I mean,
Kaylin just had an Amazon delivery.
Chicken biryani and beef steak and beans are the two meals here. So we're gonna do
Emily says, museum, some of the SA cans with British style cans. Show me.
All right, so we got fish and vegetables can. This one you can tell had a smooth edge opener technique because of those little ridge like
it looked like it was yanked up.
You see the little tick marks along the edge here. Let's see. We'll let it focus. Yeah, there you go. You can see like tick, 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 tick.
I remember those safety can openers were real popular about 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago.
That's the kind I like the most.
But I don't know why they're not more popular. Smitty!
Actually, no, that's not what this is, because this left the whole lip up here. So that's interesting. That's another type. I wonder what that one is, because this is razor sharp in here, this little edge there, whereas the smooth one, it cuts around the inner edge here, and you can take the entire thing off and pop it back on. So just need to see a different style. So there's that one.
Smitty, you're new to the conversation, so I'll let you know I'm Curious Pete.
This is beefsteak and beans. All right.
That sounds good.
We got Curious Pete's origin story coming right up.
I don't remember what my origin story. I'm missing something.
You just said, I'll let you know why I'm Curious Pete.
No. I thought it would look good if I ever actually made videos. My foraging stories were horrible. Never be a drunk fat guy and not have good food. Excuse me, Fluffy.
Oh, I love that guy.
No, I think I'm more husky than Fluffy. Those cans are British style, probably 89 to 93. Maybe you'll have more luck if sweets are British.
Let's see. So we've also got now the sweets. Energy bar, rum and raisin.
Is that the new one? Why is that out of the package?
Everything here had been.
Is there anything you want to prevent with that second one?
Energy bar, chocolate nut. No, they can both be, or one can be marked green, one can be marked clear.
Oh, because of the apple wrapping?
Yeah. I'm just trying to put it.
Is that a partial open too?
Yeah, I'm just trying to arrange these so that it looks just a tiny bit better.
Not that it matters because
You can pick. I haven't taken the pictures
I don't have any dates on either of them, so.
Yeah, we're gonna.
One's green, one's clear. Come on, give me a cursor.
We can keep dates off for the moment. I'm just trying to bag or box these in a way that looks best. This one is the most complete. So this has these little. Are these candies or are these meat? I think these are candies. Like this one's mostly complete.
Is that like being mostly dead? Sorry, one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie. Anybody wondering, that's Princess Bride.
Okay, according to Emily, that South African that had the Run Raisin bar is 1988. Produced August 22nd, 1988.
Oh, okay, yeah, so you went and checked his. Got it.
Oh, wait, was that the clear? Which one are you going through right now?
I'm going through the clear one.
Okay, that was a clear one. That's the one with the Rum Raisin, right?
Yeah.
Were those packets of soup?
So we got strawberry milkshake as this last one. We got energy, thirst quench lime. We got instant porridge energy. We got white tea. We got white coffee.
Now, white coffee is just the British, just cream, no sugar, right? White tea and white coffee. I've seen it before in reviews.
We got tangerine energy drink. Yeah, I believe so. Got a lot of sugar. We got fuel tablets for a stove. This is complete. And
It's awesome.
I mean, it's nearly complete. I wasn't intending to bust this out, just to take a look at everything. Mainly, I want to rearrange the cans inside so that it displays well.
Yes, it's South African. Hey, Mike, how's my former fellow Ohioan? That's where my tuna can apartment was in Ohio.
Oh, I've lived in some shoe boxes myself.
It was basically the size of a large hotel room. Dudes are eating pasta.
Glucose tablets.
It's funny. I used to work at Walmart, and I thought, if you're going to hike, maybe glucose tablets are a good thing to have. And they have them in the diabetic section for like $1 a tube. And I looked at them, and they contained no actual glucose.
Huh.
But they were in flavors, so my statement stands. If you're going to do an all-day hike or something, it'd be good to put in your pocket. I could be wrong. Quite possible. I'm still full of horse doodles.
I think these will all fit back in pretty well on one side. I want these towards the bottom. There we go. Oh.
You two were there and you still missed my reply. Okay, what was your response? Because I only have this scroll, I can't scroll back on it that I'm aware of. I don't want to start putting fingerprints all over his TV. I'm actually jealous of his TV. Actually, I used to have a Scepter monitor. That's a very good company.
This is the building's TV.
Well, then I'm going to go ahead and say they got it cheap off of Walmart because that's where I usually see it. Yossi, what was the message I missed?
Yeah, sorry to make you repeat yourself.
Sometimes I'll tune it up for too long.
All right, here we go.
I wasn't electric firing systems on an F-15 for 8 years. That's neat. So an electrician for the gunnery and deployment stuff? I'm not very familiar with aircraft, although I sat in one in the Franklin Institute, a training fighter. Really neat. I'd suggest it. As I again talk to the screen.
Which one came first, clear or green? Clear or green?
Green was first.
I'm going to do that one first.
What am I going to do to that? Oh wait, did you already?
I'm just flipping these back. Well, I don't know.
And clear is also the one with the date.
I was seeing if it looked better with the bag upside down.
If you wish.
Honestly, it doesn't really. It's harder to see through that.
Sorry, is that GS stuff? I'm confused.
Is that GS stuff, like Arctic GS stuff? Or government surplus stuff? Or?
Well, the box he's going through right now is foreign rations, mixed foreign rations. We just did a whole box of B unit type stuff.
All right. Not super exciting pictures. Just gonna. So these are stamped on the sides. 88 1007. So could be July 10th, 1988. Is that what Corey said?
Yeah, I believe so.
That would make sense then. All right. Do the clear. This one is
GS, General Service, Canned British Ration. Okay.
So yeah, let's see. So actually, it wouldn't be July because this one, the 22 is on the right. So that would have been October 7th, 1988, and this is August 22nd, 1988. So it's year, month, day. Got it.
Wait, do they? Okay, so that's different. Because I know Europeans do one, day, month, year.
This one's
instead of month, day, year.
88, 1007, and 88, 0822. So.
Oh, neat. Yeah, so electrician on the F-15s deployment on F-15s.
Awesome. Strike Eagles or just Eagles? Those are very nostalgic. I had a video game based around them growing up where you flew. Well, actually, there were a bunch of different campaigns. The game came out right after Desert Storm, so there was the 80s and early 90s campaigns in the game. So like,
it was a video game then?
Yeah, Nintendo video game.
I started thinking of campaigns. I started thinking of those little cardboard cutout games like Auto Wars, Car Wars, or yeah.
Oh man, Car Wars. All right, so next up we're going to be looking at just going to take some quick photos of a PR1M.
So, okay, PR1M?
Yep, so the PR1M is the freeze-dried version of the Australian 24-hour ration. This is a Menu B.
So PR1M Menu B.
And date-wise...
So we're done with the description?
Yep.
Okay. The only thing, when you talk about fighter, the only thing I can think of game-wise is there was an old game for the Intellivision, and I never had one. A friend had it, so I've only seen it a little bit, called B-29 Bomber, I think, or B-17 Bomber.
Well, we got the kitchen from a B-17 next door. So this is, oh, sorry, go ahead. You can fin. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's the only thing I think. Outside of a few simulations, that's the only thing I can think of when I think of fighter, like sort of jet games, fighter games, except for a few simulators.
So this is 2008. I found a pack date on an item inside. So
F-18 Hornet. Is that the one you were talking about?
F-18 Hornet was a great game. Oh, I played a lot of that. But F-15 Strike Eagle was the game I was thinking of for the regular Nintendo.
Do the PR1Ms also get the eating shovel?
The Fred?
Well, no, the big spoon.
I think they get a Fred.
Well, they probably get both. I'm just
field ration eating device.
Correct, if you believe the experts. Did you say a date on that?
2008.
Okay, I flaked out for a second. That's not really something you want from your data guy. Although, working in the field for a little bit, it's a lot more often than you would think. Only seen Pete review video on the PR1M. I did some, and Jane's World War II fighter circa 1998.
And we got a CR1M, or 2009.
Okay, CR1M, what menu?
D.
$2009, did you say?
Yep.
That means the chocolate must be white by now.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's why I'm guessing maybe it's because either they're not using chemicals in their chocolate or it's just so hot in Australia. But that seems to be the one thing that doesn't really hold up.
Well, these bags never really stayed too airtight, like the outer bag. And then the inner stuff, if it's just one layer of like thin plastic, it's gonna let air through eventually.
Okay.
It's just if it's like the plastic foil, you know, compressed stuff.
Yeah.
That, and then the air sucked out of it, or a desiccant is put in, then that stuff tends to last. But like when it's just like a regular flimsy plastic around, like the Dunkins or like, you know, a lot of things.
You mean like I was going somewhere, the commercial chocolates in Canadian Raft?
Yeah, like a, or if you were to like just get a Hershey bar off the shelf and keep it for 20 years, it's gonna turn white.
And Kaylin says the PR1M may not get a Fred if it doesn't have any cans in it.
Oh, you're right. The CR1M has cans. So the PR1M may not have a Fred. Like CR1M.
Are they the ones with the bacon cheese? CR1M? Or am I thinking of something else?
So yeah, right there we got a can of cheese. This one's Falcon, Australian processed cheddar cheese, and we got a bulging big can. That's not good. This is really bulged. Gonna have to deal with that. I wonder what that is a can of.
Smitty loves bacon cheese.
Oh, I love that canned cheese. See, still no new texts. All right, just making sure we don't leave them sitting out there in the cold.
It's actually pretty nice out. At least it was when I was out there. But then again, I brought a jacket.
It's 5:40, so we still have an hour and change tonight. Time's really flying, though.
Yeah. Well, you got a babbler in-house. That kills time. Speaking of the Aussie chocolate ration, I did a comparison vid showing the difference between Aussie and U.S. chocolate rations. Well, the U.S. chocolates in general, even not the rations, are full of chemicals. Well, not full of chemicals. I watch a British woman who eats American treats, and she absolutely hates Hershey's because Hershey has a chemical in it. I think so it doesn't melt. I could be wrong.
Hershey's stuff had, at least at one point, Hershey's had wax. Like paraffin wax is one of their ingredients. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they, took enough flack in the press that they're basically just milk chocolate, but I'm not sure.
But then...
I worked for Godiva Chocolate for a while, and we had this whole spiel memorized about the difference in quality of chocolate between someone like, a Belgian chocolatier or an off-the-shelf.
I'm not going to discount the woman on YouTube, but she said after eating European chocolates, American chocolates basically taste like vomit to her.
They taste. Oh, no. Oh, you're thinking of like the butyric acid or whatever it is.
That's probably what it is. I think Emily mentioned it once a couple.
Oh, right there. Smitty just said butyric acid. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that stuff that has that smell to it, or that taste, smell, sense thing. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it. Push that thought out of your head. Forget you ever heard of butyric acid, and never think of it again. And chocolate's still good, I promise.
Yeah, Elise is parking.
Got it. Okay, so we'll give her another minute. We'll try and finish this box. Then I'm going to put on a movie about 10-15 minutes about something super exciting, sealing bags, and then we'll let them in and we'll run around and get some stuff set up for doing some food. And then we may just skip the last box for today and take this down. So let's get through this last couple things, and then we'll take a quick hiatus while you guys catch a movie.
And in all honesty, a standard Hershey chocolate bar and a 20-ounce Coke was my go-to quick energy when I used to work at a marketing company. Was it by myself for 12 hours.
So here we go. We got a Yugoslavian ration. That's all we'll put. I don't have dates. I don't have style.
Is it the new Yugoslavia or the former Yugoslavian?
The former. Yugoslavia has not been a country in more than 20 years.
Well, they're still a part that's Yugoslavia, isn't it?
I mean, Yugoslavia is not a country.
But I mean,
it broke up into.
I understand Moldova, not that
Bosnia
and Herzegovina.
But yeah, there's nothing that's left that's still Yugoslavia.
But I could have sworn that there was. I could be wrong, and maybe there was for a little while, because even the broken up countries had broken up. Like Bosnia and Herzegovina were one country for a while. I believe they split.
And it's not something I'm insanely familiar with, but you're like, yeah, it's not a country anymore.
That was the problem. You know, when I was 16, we had teachers that had to teach the world that was changing. Like the fall, I turned 16. The fall of the USSR was happening. Oh, it could have been newer than that. But I was in school when it happened. Okay.
This is partial.
Okay.
Yugoslavian partial.
Anything else interesting about it?
That it's from a dead country. That's it. Yeah.
Which means it's probably old.
Yeah. It's,
like you said,
this one's probably 80s.
Okay.
But
so no date?
I just leave the date off for now. It's the only one we have.
Okay.
Just putting it back in its protective foam.
Is that the one you were looking for?
No, God, I'll never. I assume the.
But you pulled something.
I assume the Saudi Arabian one that I've been hunting for.
But no, you said you pulled one out, then I guess you had been looking for.
Oh, that I said, oh, yeah, that was the one I was excited to see in there. I was like, oh, hello. Okay, just an empty Dutch 24-hour box. So, just an empty box. Does this really belong in here? I have a whole other box of empty boxes.
Puppy breath, I am lazy. I would never want to have to learn more countries. So no, I wasn't having anything to do with it. Hi, Christine. Since you were new to the chat today, I am Curious Pete.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome. So this one is just a, let's see what era.
It looks like a British ration.
It expires in 2013. Oh, it's Dutch.
Oh, okay. So it's a Dutch 24-hour?
Yep. Box only.
Oops.
And then these items.
So it's an empty box?
Yep.
24-hour. So if Lisa's parking, she should be here within the next hour. Does that have a date, or is it the only one?
It hasn't. It's so we could put expires 2013. That's
Okay.
the only date that's on there. Now these I think are Australian. They might be New Zealand. So this is like spaghetti. They're the same style as a PR1M, but they're this dark green. At the bottom they say DFSC.
What's that now? Are they freeze-dried meals?
Well, actually, this one says DNRC. Beef and black beans and sauce. Extract food bag from inside. So yeah, these are.
So they're like the old LRRPs?
Yeah, but from PR1M. So I would say Australian mains, Australian freeze-dried mains. I'm just going to put them together.
And no date on them?
And this should go in another, well, I don't even know what this is. Thai or Malaysian or?
Is it, okay, so that's the last one? Or do you don't want to know if you put it in the box?
Yeah, this will be the last one.
Okay.
So
you want me to put Asian question mark?
So let me see if anything jumps out in the packaging.
Is it a whole ration?
It's just the package.
Oh.
You know, it's just the empty pouches and stuff. Well, that's probably them.
Smitty, how's Mr. Trudeau going? Okay. It's really Nick 2.0, Smitty.
Let's see.
Kalen Strange
Thailand,
says Thai,
okay.
yeah.
Thailand.
Okay. Thai. Should I put Thai ration packaging?
Yeah, that works. And then this is box 67, and we'll call that good. And probably time to let them in. Just got a message. The message is, oh, come on, stupid broken phone.
Incidentally, one of the directions to get here said that you were by the Liberty Bell. I didn't.
No, I didn't say that.
She said
that's
that.
5-6 blocks away.
I thought you were by I-95, but I didn't see that from where I was.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's there.
We're on 95. You could go spit on it from the front door. Okay, I don't apparently have the right to check my own text messages anymore. So.
But you were also by, because I'm a food nut, you're by an Iron Chef American.
Oh yeah, the Morimoto's is right down the street.
No, Amato is owned by Iron Chef Garces.
Oh, I don't know if Morimoto's is still open, but Iron Chef Japan for more than a decade.
I think Morimoto's is on Spring Garden, isn't it?
It was. I ate it on Chestnut. I ate there on Chestnut, but that was almost 15 years ago. So I don't know.
I think I looked it up recently, and it is open, but it may be takeout only for now.
That would be a waste. I don't even want to say what dinner at Morimoto's ran me, but there would be no point doing takeout for that. All right, so I'm going to get you guys set up to watch a quick video. And we're going to go let them in.
LOL. I want your Israeli chocolate. Oh, I sent you Israeli chocolate in the previous package at Ration Museum.
Wait, we missed something, but yeah, he's definitely sent Israeli chocolate before, and it was fantastic. Let's see, gotta turn that up. Screwing this up already. Let me see. Back it up. Okay. Gonna transition over to this. And we'll see you guys in 10 to 15 minutes after we let them in. Alright. Be right back.
Literally scores of barrier materials have been produced over the years to package everything from diodes to jet engines. And the sole reason is to safeguard military supplies for transportation and long-term storage under all types of climates. But a barrier, no matter how good it is, can be no better than its seal. Thus, a bad seal is worthless, but a good seal will prevent damaged materials, the loss of thousands of dollars, and possibly the immobilization of mechanized units that did not get needed and usable replacement parts. Most workers in military packaging are very aware of these facts and accept them. But there are a few nonconformists. Clarence here is a good example. For the most part, he's a good worker. But there was a time when he'd never take anybody's word for anything, had to prove everything to himself. So, naturally, he did a lot of thinking and a lot of worrying. No, it wasn't a matter of peanuts. They just helped to trigger things. You see, he was at the packaging end and not the receiving end, so he was a bundle of questions. Did his packs arrive in good condition? How good were the seals and the barriers? How could he really tell if a barrier was grease-proof, or waterproof, or water vapor-proof? Well, the truth is that every barrier is made to do a specific job, and every one is tough. Opaque barriers, for example, are usually made of more than one layer to form a multiply sheet. The face, which is heat sealable, is made of thermoplastic. The impervious ply, usually metal foil or plastic film, provides greaseproof, waterproof, or water vapor-proof properties. The backing sheet may be plastic, cotton cloth, or craft paper. The craft is sometimes reinforced with glass fibers or other materials. The heat-sealable face also serves to fill tiny pinholes in the underlying plies to aid in making the barrier resistant to water, grease, or water vapor. Transparent or unsupported plastic films also provide greaseproof, waterproof, or water vapor-proof protection, depending upon the properties of the film. Sure, Clarence was given all that information, but did he accept it? No. Nor did he believe that most heat-sealable barriers used by the military today will have information on the backing ply, stating the sealing requirements for dwell time, pressure, and temperature. If not, the sealing information will be on a slip sheet. Fine, but just try to convince a non-believer. Anyhow, as the story goes, Clarence finally hit on a surefire way to prove things to himself. And it all hinged on that old watch of his. A clunker that had seen much, much better days. The idea, of course, was to slip that old watch in a bag, seal it up, and hang it outside the house. Sure, to test the packaging. And that's just how he explained it all to the boss when he appeared from nowhere. But the boss had another idea. Why not hang it up outside the plant entrance for a while, Clarence, where we can all check it, the boss says. Well, he was the boss. So that's where the watch went, outside the building entrance, where everybody could see it. And so it hung there for quite a spell, through hot sun, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. As the weeks went by, that old watch not only gained a lot of attention, it raised quite a few questions. Would the barrier hold up? Was it the right barrier? Was it a good heat seal? Had Clarence been careful about the right temperature, dwell time, and pressure? Finally came the moment of truth. All those questions would be answered one way or another. No, the watch didn't fare too well. But according to the boss, there was nothing wrong with the barrier. It had to be the seal. The rusty watch was proof of that, no doubt about it. Fortunately, nobody lost out by the experiment. They learned something about barriers and seals firsthand, especially Clarence. He actually proved to himself that poor heat seals can quickly harm a packaged item. That poor heat seals are always the result of improper correlation of temperature, dwell time, and pressure. As Clarence learned, and every experienced operator knows, enough heat must be applied to the thermoplastic material on the sheets to be bonded, so it will soften and reach its flow temperature. Too low a temperature may result in either no seal being made or at best a weak seal. Too high a temperature may cause delamination or separation of the backing ply and or decomposition of the thermoplastic. Barrier materials must be capable of being heat sealed at a temperature no higher than 525 degrees Fahrenheit. And dwell time, the length of time the barrier material remains in the heating zone, must be sufficient to raise the temperature of the heat-sealable face to its flow temperature so the molten thermoplastic surfaces will form one continuous mass. Since dwell time and temperature are interdependent, the lower the temperature, the greater the dwell time must be, and vice versa. Pressure, the third essential for a good heat seal, is needed to bring the surfaces to be sealed into close and continuous contact, so the heat will flow through the backing material to the thermoplastic surfaces. Too much pressure tends to force the molten thermoplastic material out and cause defective seals. 40 to 80 psi is the pressure range that should be maintained. There are two types of heat sealers in general use by the military today: the continuous type and the unit or jaw type. Though they may have many variations or attachments depending on the make, their basic operation is essentially the same. The unit or jaw type sealer has two opposed parallel jaws, which can be brought together either by hand or mechanically. Heating elements may be provided in one or both of the jaws. Temperature is controlled by a thermostat. Dwell time is controlled by the duration of pressure, either manually or by automatic timing devices. Pressure is controlled by a spring or a pressure cylinder, which is powered pneumatically or hydraulically. The continuous type sealer is available in two basic variations: the rotary and the band type. Both are used for high volume work. In their simplest form, rotary sealers consist of a pair of driven and heated rollers through which the material to be sealed is passed. Dwell time is controlled by varying the rate of speed at which the material passes through the rollers. The rotating wheels are used to apply heat and pressure to the barrier material to effect a seal. Temperature is accurately controlled by a thermostat. In addition, some rotary sealers also utilize preheaters to raise the temperature of the thermoplastic before sealing. A pressure control determines and measures effective sealing pressure. Rotary sealers are usually equipped with a chain or belt drive intake to feed the material into the sealer and a discharge unit to guide it out. The band-type continuous sealers make use of two thin, endless metal belts to carry the material through the heating zone, and sometimes a cooling zone, while applying pressure and heat continuously to the barrier. The band type operates by transferring heat from the jaws through the metal bands to the barrier material. Dwell time is controlled by varying the speed of the bands through the heating zone. Temperature is thermostatically controlled. And pressure is usually applied by rollers, although the heating jaws also apply a small amount of pressure to the bands. Roller pressure is controlled by mechanical and/or hydraulic power. Continuous type sealers for unsupported plastic film are also available. In addition to the heated zone, they use a water-cooled zone so the unsupported film will not melt and fuse onto the steel belt. The thermal impulse type heat sealer is also used primarily for sealing unsupported films. It looks and operates much like a conventional unit or jaw type sealer, except that an electrical resistance wire is mounted on the sealing jaw. The wire, when brought in contact with the material, is heated in a fraction of a second by a heavy current flow to melt and fuse the thermoplastic. The jaws remain closed after the flow of current to cool the seal under pressure. The four controls located on top of the machine consist of the dwell control, the recycle control for making single or multiple seals, the on-off switch, and the heat control. An entirely automatic thermal impulse type heat sealer, which requires only minimal attention, is ideal for use in long packaging runs involving small items of a like nature. Before any runs are made, of course, temperature, dwell time, and pressure controls must be properly set for the material being sealed. But even with the best equipment and materials at hand, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's recommendations for operating and maintenance procedures to achieve good heat seals consistently. This means each machine must be checked regularly to be sure it's free of grease or other foreign matter, free of defective or worn parts, and operating efficiently. To assure correct temperature control, a pyrometer should be used daily to check the temperature of the heat sealing surfaces. The temperature indicators should then be adjusted accordingly if necessary, so they will reflect the true temperature of the unit. As a starting point for making good heat seals, always check the manufacturer's slip sheet that's provided with each roll of barrier material. These sheets provide recommended temperature, dwell time, and pressure to be used on rotary, band, and jaw-type equipment. The information is excellent for making a trial heat seal, but beyond that, it should be used cautiously, since some thermoplastics and adhesives change characteristics upon aging. The manufacturer's recommendations might also be for a type of sealer which may differ from the one you are using. If the manufacturer's recommendations do not result in a good heat seal, or they are not available, correct settings may be established by a series of trial and adjustment settings made at increasing temperatures, which dwell time and pressure are kept constant. Dwell time is set at 2 seconds. Temperature settings should start at about 250 degrees Fahrenheit and pressure at 60 psi. The barrier material samples are placed in face-to-face contact as test specimens. Each specimen is then sealed at 25 to 50 degree increments of increasing temperature. After cooling the sealed specimens to room temperature, each one should be pulled apart. The correct temperature to use is the lowest one at which the heat sealable layer pulls completely away from the other plies of the barrier material. Any color change on the heat-sealed area of the backing material are sure signs of too much heat. Final proof of a good heat seal, of course, is its ability to pass the test set forth in the specs MIL P116, not its ability to protect an old watch. Incidentally, the better operators like Clarence test their seals frequently because they've learned that no machine will run indefinitely without adjustment, and no barrier materials will be completely uniform. A good operator also feeds the material into the sealer so both faces are free of wrinkles and puckers. This prevents channeling in the seam, which could cause leakage. Any excess air that might be in the package can be squeezed out by hand before the package is completely sealed. Excess air can also be removed mechanically, but when using a device, never remove all the air, because the barrier might then come in too close contact with the item and result in possible damage to the barrier. Any handling which puts a strain on freshly made seals before they have cooled should be avoided. When opaque bags are made up for sealing purposes, all 4 sides must be sealed. Likewise, whenever bags must be cut to smaller sizes, they should be made no larger than necessary so they can best conform to the material. The packaging of outsize items also calls for special treatment. Barrier materials must be carefully cut to proper size to fit the item. Then, hand sealers must be used with the same attention paid to temperature, dwell time, and pressure as in other sealing jobs. When heat seals are made on equipment designed to control temperature, dwell time, and pressure, samples should be obtained from sealed packages or prepared from specimen heat seals for testing. When specimen heat seals are prepared, they should be made up daily prior to production from samples of each barrier material sealed on each sealing device. Machine settings used in production must be identical with those used in fabricating the test specimens. The heat-sealed seam strength test must always be done according to established standards, preferably at room temperature and with static load weights as specified. If the temperature in the test area exceeds 90 degrees Fahrenheit, a 5% reduction in the static load is permitted. Partial separation of the seal is acceptable within the first 2 minutes of the test, but any separation of the heat-sealed area during the final 3 minutes of the test is cause for rejection. To be effective and do its intended job, the heat seal should be just as strong as the barrier material itself. And this test, which meets the heat seal test requirements, is quick, it's reliable, and it guarantees a good package for storage or transit. And again, you don't even need an old watch.
All right, and we're back. Hey, look at that. We multiplied. There's Aletha and Jay joining us, and Zach. Oh.
I'm Coda.
Oh, and a tiny dog. All right, let's see. I think I can get us all in here almost. There we almost.
Very good, almost.
But so we're gonna be tucking into a meal from 1979. Let's see.
Before I go any further, hello, James.
Oh, yep, got to do some chat catch up.
So far, most of the people I've seen before are here.
Hey, Smitty.
Hey, Smitty, James, Kaylin.
Well, the pup was mentioned. Now, how often do you guys come to
Well,
Pennsylvania?
I always do that.
Every other year.
Because after you have the awesomeness known as the cheesesteak, because when you see Philly cheesesteak on a menu, you can guarantee the person that has made it has never actually had a cheesesteak. Then maybe if you like that sort of thing, there's a place, a pub somewhere in Pennsylvania.
There we go.
Might be a Fishtown, I'm not sure. Sells a sandwich called the Witter-Witowski.
Witter-Witowski.
Which is
Which you get wet all the time.
Witter-Witowski is the Polish version of a cheesesteak.
All right.
It is sliced kielbasa loaf, for lack of a better word, with a cheese sauce on it, on a Philly steak roll.
Okay, so let me clear some space over here. Just really.
I feel like you need a regular
Cameras.
cheesesteak to get the baseline where you go gourmet.
All right, so we're going to be looking at. Oh, I should have got. I'm terrible at all this, by the way.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Actually, while I'm setting all this up, we got another piece of mail call over there,
Yes.
and then a second before that, I just got to show you. Got a gift. Got a gift from Iowa.
No, actually from Ohio.
What? No,
No,
Iowa.
that one's for me. He's the one who's on.
All right, so
Huh?
Aletha brought.
Or is it because it's got Mike and Mike?
That one's for Mike. That one's for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
223
Yes, that's from
keychain
Ohio.
that says Iowa, and
Can't see it too good.
The little
Gonna pull
Ziploc
this
bag.
out
I
here.
can't see anything too good. You can burn ants in Brazil with these things.
let's see. Actually, let's try over on this one.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, by the way, congratulations on your cheap shot. Win.
You're welcome.
Your team is now number 2.
Well, thank you super, super duper much. I love these.
I was wearing my Hawkeye shirt around Knoebels during the Phillies game, or during the Penn
Full
State
service
game.
utensil shop. Full service.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's like I said. I don't have anything like that. Actually, I went to Vegas and with my Phillies T-shirts on. And you eventually had, so where are you from?
Part of me wants to cut these open with the little tiny scissors, but the other part of me wants to open them with a slit from the back so that they still displayable.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. But first, we got a package opening over here.
Yes, this is from Ohio, Mr. Mike Kreischer.
So,
which I will need a knife.
you guys, you good, or you?
Well, I got it.
So over here, I'm gonna.
As I almost tried to emasculate myself with my keychain. Folks, say no to keys.
Keys are an addiction. You start with just one or two, and then before you know it, you got.
I don't want to talk bad about her. I love my mother, but she used to keep so many keys, she actually broke an ignition to an Oldsmobile wagon we had. Okay, so this will go back here.
Ooh. So let's get all these out separate.
And which is
that.
okay, that's a saw.
Making sure I'm not going all the way through.
You know, I still do, but I watch Nathan, but he used to scare the hell out of me. Because he also used to open a bag in a weird way that looked like he wanted to gut himself.
Oh, yeah. Just straight towards himself. Like this.
I like Tom's doing right now.
Don't worry, no one's how to use knives.
I'm just trying not to puncture the inner bag here.
Okay, here we go.
And I probably did anyway, but let's see.
A wood finish to that knife, but yeah, it is nice. I hate people who swear. This is a children's show, I think. Maybe not.
Not technically, but not declared.
Well, as I always say, I'm a beacon of purity and chaste, so...
It's not declared as adults-only content, so try and keep it to
Also, it's not monetized, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, from Mike, we have... Where the heck's the...
Right at you, Pete.
Okay, nobody can see this probably. Let me get this closer here. We have a Minotaur Trading Company all-day trail mix. And, of course, the glare is right on the white bag. A chicken burrito bowl. Nice, Mike. I've never had one of these before. Obviously, I've had parts of them because of the same, but a pork sausage patty, maple flavored totem, tailored operational something or other, training meal. And glare. Thank you, sir. A bunch of stuff. The spoon everybody loves, except those who are lucky enough to have a Aussie eating shovel. Milk chocolate cocoa beverage powder, sweetness. Literally, they're very sweet. Beverage-based powder, lemon lime, which I probably don't need to show you since there's all sorts of glare and I'm telling you what it is, but whatever the hell that is. Strawberry jam from Canada. Well, if they're Canadians, they're from Canada.
There we go.
Oatmeal cookie, trans fat free.
How close to boiling here? Did I crack that? Let's see.
I'll have to get that in a second.
I swore it was boiling.
It was. Then I took half an hour.
Okay, this is,
Darn keys, they wanted to stay in there. Or used to.
I guess, okay, 8-pack ready meal. This is the commercial 8-pack, which is AmeriQual's commercial farm.
Is that one of the disaster meals or a whole ready meal?
No, it's a ready meal. I think it's one of the commercially available ones. And this is something I've never had. It's recent, I think, and one I've been on my bucket list. Beef strips in a savory tomato sauce. So I think I've seen a couple people do these, so I have high expectations and hopes. Okay. Little eBay pack.
Beef strips and savory tomato sauce. Sounds good.
It sounds, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like the meatballs. It sounds like the meatballs where they give you the main but not, oh Lord, okay.
Oh, Mike says it's a disaster meal.
Okay. We have, I believe this is Minotaur, the Minotaur razor,
Yeah, I don't
very
think
nice,
with that.
and some Sky Flakes. Looks like 2 different flavors. We have Sky Flakes crackers, and I don't know what the heck this is.
More crackers.
It's garlic flavor. Obviously, he doesn't want me near any ladies. And I believe these are just regular crackers. Both of them. Thank you, Mike. There's more. I'm just thanking you as I go.
Fingers. Will this hold water?
Will they hide
I want to boring these videos.
You know, making sense over there.
And we have, okay, we have a Steve tray.
Wow.
A genuine Steve tray.
Ooh.
Wow.
So one step closer to making videos, I keep promising you guys. Although now I know where he is, I may harass Sean more.
No thanks to me. I'll say one for you though.
Huh?
Gotta keep it flat.
Save one for what?
I'll save one of them devil
But he's
seeds,
trying to pack the
for
peas
me.
out.
You'll see them peas look great. Oh, peas. This has turned into an unboxing video. And you weren't there for the original one, Bus Stop. Because he unboxed a couple sweet things at the beginning. Maybe you were. I don't know. My memory is as good as my memory.
All right.
And this is amazing. This is a Ration de Combat Individuel Rechauffable or a French Individual Reheatable Combat Ration.
Ooh, a whole RCIR.
And this one is salt pork and lentils, sausages and spicy sauce with rice. Oh, that's two different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Salt pork and lentils and sausages and spicy sauce with rice. That is awesome. And all the stuff that comes with it. Here, I can show you that.
And on the tiny camera, we've got looking inside a freeze-dried beef stew. See, smell
Now
that?
that's got rehydration. What's it smell like? That's not something you want to hear when you...
Smells like fish.
Yeah, it does. It smells like tuna salad.
Smells a little like tuna.
Sure does.
There's no tuna in that beef.
We got some interesting beef going on here.
We'll see, we'll see.
And
I got a super sniffer. I can smell it from over there.
And that is a military ration. I'm impressed by how nice that looks. Even before some people call this stuff the best food in rationing. Mango peach drink mix is the final item.
Right.
Very nice, Mike. Thank you very much.
Good box, Mike. No, Smitty, on the beach too doesn't have fish in it.
That must be a Canadian thing. All that trout up there.
Pretty hard being all up there all the time, being America's hat and all.
American easy.
Alright, gonna put a little more water in there.
Okay, now apparently Mike performed some kind of magic to get this in here.
It's okay, probably.
That doesn't fit like that.
I mean, it's
That fits like
rehydrating
that.
pretty nice. It looks
Does this fit like that?
pretty good.
And it's taking water well, yeah.
This, you know, this is like kind of like trying to repack a tent.
Let's see. Oh, get the freeze-dried stuff.
How the hell? Mike, you're a magician.
I will.
There we go.
Oh, I bumped the camera.
There we go.
So we're looking at, let's see, starting to cook some beef stew.
Oh,
Hold
I have
that
to have a
over.
thingy to get back in, don't I?
Yeah, if you're leaving the building,
She has to go.
you will need.
Just hold her out a window and squeeze.
No.
You'll need this little gray puck on that plate by the door. All right, we got some green peas here. They're looking pretty all right, like peas.
Which is not some people's cup of tea.
So we'll
I don't mind peas.
let them sit for
Yeah.
a bit.
I think they're a little better frozen.
If I'd have been planning this out just a little better, I'd have something to pinch these
Is
shut.
that beef stew or pea stew?
Beef stew.
Because I'm seeing a pile of peas.
Well, I mean, it's
That's a bag of peas.
It's beef stew, so
That smell like pea. Does that smell like fish? Or is that a separate? I don't know.
And then we've got
It's quite possible I'm full of horse doodles again.
peaches that we can eat dry or rehydrate. So I'm going to say we should each grab a big chunk for dry and then rehydrate the rest.
Yeah.
So,
I was a poor kid. I couldn't afford Nintendo.
big chunk of freeze-dried peaches.
Smitty, I'm relaxed all the time. This is just my normal demeanor.
Moving
Man.
to
You know
the
this.
country, I'm going to eat me a lot of peaches.
Oh,
These are 42 years old.
And still peachy.
So I'm going to add some water. Well, save another 2 chunks.
The texture doesn't taste like the normal freeze-dried to me, though. Of course, I don't think I've ever had freeze-dried peaches. They're not bad. They taste good. They just seem to be a little more crunchy than I remember.
Yeah, these are definitely very crunchy. Just going to add a little water and fold that over and let that set. Hydrate as well. So all this needs to sit for probably 10 minutes. During which time, let me just put on another video. No, I'm just kidding. So let's see. So we've got, and we can take a look at the bags, I think, in a little more detail. So these are all 1979 Mountain House. We can tell that from the code down here in the bottom. Oop. If we can get that to show. Almost. It's right here. Barely. J177Y. J in there is basically saying that this was from the 1979 series. For Mountain House up until, I want to say the late 80s, maybe even into the 90s. Corey probably knows exactly, but they did the letter at the start of the number was going to tell you what year it was, and they changed over every year. But then eventually it went to a different dating system. So,
What happened to Clarence?
let's
Who's
see.
Clarence?
In the back we see instructions for this. Removes only water and reduces up to 90% of the original weight, retains flavor. So, serve with meats or entrees, add to main course for larger portions. Really not a ton to see on here. The instructions for the peas was to add 2 cups of water, and for the beef stew was only to add 1.5 cups. So we eyeballed it. The peas are going to be a little too wet, even though I don't think I put a whole 2 cups of water in there. But they're looking pretty normal. Let's see. We'll take a look at the pouch for the beef.
Looking like little extra pea juice.
A little extra juice. This one, like I said, 1.5 cups of water. You notice there's no reference to canteens or anything on these because these are just civilian. We got quite a pile of all this stuff a couple months ago, so I've been meaning to break out a whole set, and try them. There was also a couple of the yellow pouches for scrambled eggs for the breakfast, but we'll see. Might try scrambled eggs some other time. Does anybody want this unmixed cup of coffee?
And Sean,
Sure, pour it up.
Okay.
I'll pass, but Jay and Lincoln, I can't have it yet with this.
I definitely put way too much in there, so I'm going to take.
Emily, it says 1986 was the last.
86 was the last dated one.
Or, yeah. I know, funny thing about that. They were talking about the movie.
Exactly.
Every laugh track that you hear on any TV show was made in the 1950s. So the possibility that every person who was in those laugh tracks is probably gone.
Oh God, great thought.
Yeah.
Wait, was that you?
It was, yeah, I'll have that.
This is why I try to stay off of Facebook. I fail, but I try. But somebody's got to be a king of memes.
That's the coffee from Yossi, isn't it?
Huh?
Yep. So let's see, we'll get this back
Yes, it's
over
coffee
there.
from Israel.
So I know, super exciting to watch bags sit. It's funny, time does pass pretty quick though. We're already at 6:30, so there's a chance that the peas are almost done. We got the rehydrating peaches.
I'll say the
over
peas
here.
were a side dish.
They're starting to look pretty normal. Just gonna try another chunker. Yeah, definitely a lot crunchier than like the 80s MRE freeze-dried peaches.
I think the normal, when I think of freeze-dried fruit, I taste it, it's like a cross between styrofoam and cereal marshmallows.
And that's the holy grail right there, right? I mean,
Those were good.
Oh, they tasted good.
Good.
And, you know, the crunch wasn't bad. It's just unusual.
All right.
The freeze-dried stuff is great.
Let's see. Good excuse for using a gigantic...
I'll pass on the peas.
All right. One order without peas.
One order without peas.
You guys hear that? Send a eat the peas. She'll take all of them.
I'm just gonna give a quick taste test and see if these are these are rehydrated or if they're just rocks. These are fully rehydrated. It's just crazy.
So like when you have to taste the food before kids, so it's not poisoned.
I mean, if that's the excuse your parents used, sure.
No, I use that for the kids. I
Is
use
that
for
one
the
better
kids
than
now,
the
kidding.
LP?
Gotta taste this candy. Make sure it's not rancid.
Yep.
Oh, everybody loves
But
it.
Mom, it's brand new
I was thinking
candy.
Emerson Lake and someone.
Palmer.
Yeah.
All right, 2 portions of peas. Just trying to make sure I don't dump out all the water into these. So how was the drive down?
Jay got a little anxious towards when we got closer to Philly. He wouldn't let me drive.
When we hit the, the road that says do 30, now do 60, now do 20. 476 coming in.
Street.
Central.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awful time. Traffic backed up for no reason on a Sunday.
476.
That sounds about normal
Am I
for...
thinking Vine Street Expressway is at 76?
That's 676.
That's 676. This was before we got into 676. It was actually easier on that highway than it was on the main turn.
And that's probably the worst picture I saw from the remnants of the last hurricane, was seeing 676 completely underwater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it went under. At least in the middle of the city. Put that there. All right.
Yeah, I'll end up picking him out of that.
Oh, that looks hydrated. Well, let's cross our fingers that the meat's actually hydrated here.
Well, if it smells like fish, we may want to hope not.
Well,
Great,
let's see. I'm
I'm
gonna
excited.
do one more quick.
Oh, I like fish too.
It's beef, though. That's the problem.
You know what it reminds me of?
It's chewy. It's good.
Have you ever seen down Periscope? Why, it still tastes like green corn. Yeah, but it's deviled ham.
Oh God. Is that the one with Kelsey Grammer?
Yes.
Hey, Rachel. Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at.
Where's Rachel at?
You're over there. There's a leaf
I'm
over
behind
there.
Sean over here, so
Hi, Rachel.
Pete's over here.
There we go.
there we go. I was keeping my dog away from the food, because otherwise she'd have eaten it.
I don't think it'll hurt him. Her.
Zach hasn't realized we're live yet. He thinks we're filming.
Oh, haha.
Live TV, buddy.
There's
That's
the
what they're
chef
talking.
behind you.
Oh.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah. Are you new? I mean, I know you're not new, but when did you...
Angry Blacksmith, he's been here for 1 billion years.
Billion years.
Oh, I have bad memory. It could be the blow to the head I took earlier.
We literally
Or the blow to the
left
head you
your
took
neck of the
earlier.
woods,
Or the
Jeremiah.
other blow to the head you took.
Yeah, if you go into the break room for anything, watch out. There's a bar that's set at 511.
Oh God, yeah, he walked right into it.
I told Jay where you lived, and he's like, how do I not know him?
Oh God, like where we grew up.
Yeah.
I mean, you might. Oh wait, no, that's right.
Well, Jeremiah, too. Jeremiah.
Well, are you guys, I remember we've talked about this a lot. Are you guys near the coal mines?
Sean says I won't be much.
Or were you guys near the coal mine towns?
Oh, I grew up near some of those. Yeah.
Centralia, that's what I'm looking for.
You can't even go there anymore. They literally will
They blocked
chase
it
you
off.
off and have you arrested.
Well, not only that, we discussed this before. Late last year, they just got sick of all the ragers and the beer parties and the
On the
quads.
abandoned
So they
highway.
they covered the graffiti highway with dirt.
Well, it's actually starting to finally cave in all the way to the world.
I got to see it a billion times before it was gone, so I'll call.
I was a rager and a partier on it a couple times.
Definitely never partied out on the highway.
You know, I don't know if anybody would ever really ever heard that name if it wasn't for the coal fire. The one that saddens me is every time I see someone riding down Route 66, which is a famous highway, but most of it is just left to seed, being reclaimed by the land.
So,
Ready to go.
this is what we're working with here, guys. We've got a veritable Thanksgiving feast from 1979. You guys can see some beef stew. We got potatoes. We got peas. We got carrots. It's honestly the quietest Chihuahua mixed with what? Or
Nothing.
She's
Just
purebred.
purebred.
probably the quietest
I would agree
Chihuahua
too,
I've ever
puppy.
seen.
She's purebred brindle chihuahua.
These peas look awesome.
She's
Overall.
very docile for a chihuahua.
Heck yeah, she is.
They're very
We
bright.
took her to Knobles, and she is the world's most popular kids attraction in that whole place.
All right, we'll stick some
Well, maybe I have a new target. I usually ask
1970.
parents of fairly newborn kids if I can borrow them to go pick up chicks at malls.
She'll do it. I did her dress.
I'm excited for this, Sean.
Somebody's
I'm
gonna get the
Me.
Russian spoon. There we go.
Be careful, that's a delicate
I'll
relic,
reuse
a
this
delicate classic.
That was a relic.
I actually have one.
Is it a
All
party
right.
favor?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You ready for
You're
this?
welcome.
Because I only had one or two Russian rations
So,
before the war on meat.
There's some peaches, just a tiny little chunk to see what they're like rehydrated, and then the rest is just
Coda's not sure. She doesn't want
food from the
peas.
past.
I'm gonna suck it up and eat peas out of this beef stew because I have no choice.
The peas, probably because they are canned, taste more like frozen peas than canned peas, which is actually pretty good. I think the salt messes up the taste.
I don't think I can tell that they're peas actually. They're good.
They're peas. Not much to say.
I mean, the peas are they're. It's like they just came out of a can
I can definitely
Or,
tell they're peas.
or just got nuked in the from a bag of frozen, like whatever Mountain House was doing in 1979, they did it well. So.
I
In the beef
agree.
stew, I can't really tell that they're peas, but I know they're there.
Bus stop says it's older than he is. It's older than at least a couple.
Probably older than most of us in here.
Older than me.
Me.
Was that a shot at me?
I think Pete. I think
I was
Pete is
6.
older than that. Yeah. I
Well,
was
Zach
6.
being the youngest person in the room.
Please stand by.
Zach's only 24,
Yes,
so
Oh, okay. I'm eating 32-year-old food.
42.
42.
But yeah, we're doing good. We're just chilling with a bunch of people. Okay.
Still coming along.
that's why I like Rachel
Okay.
so much.
Did you by any chance?
Was Rachel
get
showing her
his
age
bill?
again?
Okay, good. All right, thank you. All right, bye.
Pete, slide like 6 inches to your left. There you go.
There's Pete.
For those who don't know, that song is as old as this food.
He makes a good point. So that was part of the opening from Star Blazers. Great old anime. Some of the first anime that a lot of us got to see in the United States.
I think it was also, if I'm correct, it has a first in Japan. I think it was the first episodic story arc anime.
I wouldn't know.
Because remember, it was movies and TV shows there for years before it was here.
Right. Yeah, the idea, at least for season 1, was we're at war with a distant planet called Gamelon, and they're like throwing radioactive meteors at Earth to destroy the surface. Like they get them all spun up and whip them across, the galaxy at us. and we've got to go out, resurrect a long-lost spaceship, and then use it to try and find the Cosmo DNA, the spark, the something, something, something. I forget, but it was awesome.
The air on Earth
I forget what it
poison.
was.
My computer at home is still named after the robot on that show, IQ9.
First time ever using a short spoon. Although, honestly, you can find these spoons in any baby store.
Got a little bit of chewy meat there, but nothing's not.
Honestly,
I mean, everything rehydrated. I mean, like this seems.
That was.
I was taking a little bit
that was
of
enjoyable.
engineering.
So when you guys are looking at
Like Christine.
Mountain House food, you know, in Walmart or Cabela's, and it says, you know, made in 2021, expires 2051. Well, now you know it won't be bad in 2051.
I don't know that they put expiration dates.
They do now. As of 2 years ago, I want to say they finally put.
Well, they did that, but I'd say a few years before that they said any stuff that you see made from us is now best by date of 30 years from the date of production.
Right. So like they're like stamping the actual dates 30 years out. So you're picking stuff up and it's like good until 2051. But
And honestly, it's going to be longer than that.
I've eaten Mountain House back to just about the first year, and it's all good.
Well, that was one to worry about my number 10 cans. Was one of the reasons that I didn't make them, because I would make maybe 1 or 2 servings, and I don't know how perishable they are than once they hit the air and moisture.
When you open up a number 10 can of Mountain House stuff, you should probably have like one of those extra cans of just desiccant pouches, and then your best bet is just toss 5 or 6 of those in there and seal it back up. And it should be fine. They come with the plastic lids that'll do a pretty good job of holding stuff out. But I would say once you crack one, eat it within a year.
Oops.
Now, if you were going to put that back into like a gamma sealed barrel with desiccant pouches, then it's good forever again. I wouldn't think that it's going to go bad if you've got one of those like gamma lids.
Is that like that the Kodak barrel you had, or?
It's like you can get like the same barrels as like for drywall or like putty compound or whatever. It's like a 5-gallon barrel, but the lid has a rubber seal in it and clamps extremely tight, and then in the middle of it screws open, so it has like a separate lid inside that you can screw out, and then you put everything in there. You put your dessicant and you screw it back on. It's super, super tight with another O-ring on that.
That sounds a lot like the Wally World's hazardous waste buckets.
Have some. That's the Israeli one?
Yeah, that's this stuff from Yossi.
Yeah.
It has a great smell. It has a great taste. The only thing, it seems like to me, there's a little bit more bitterness at first, but after like 3 sips, that's gone.
And we are drinking very poorly measured out. Just like it looks
that
good.
Looks good. Yeah.
Sean, measure coffee with your heart. That's how you do it. Oh, and I'm out of frame again.
There we go.
Oh, bye, Christine.
Caitlin says she could show a Mountain House pouch during the stream. Do you have some of these old ones too, Caitlin? Or Caitlin? Caitlin.
I think she probably has some of the modern ones. I could be wrong. It's quite possible. I'm still also full of.
Caitlin has a decent collection, so I'm sure she has a fancy one.
She might.
She's okay.
Coda, let Sean touch her, everybody. Progress has been made.
Yep. Did not bite any of these off.
Chihuahua did not kill.
5 fingers of not death.
She is 15 years old. I don't think she cares anymore.
So this meal is almost.
She's finally looking at me, so I guess I'm not too ugly.
This meal is almost 3 times as old as that. 15 years old.
15.
Yeah.
She looks extremely healthy and happy for a 15-year-old
found out?
tiny dog.
The smaller the dog, the longer they stay young. Like, I don't want to say pep-wise.
Let me just tell you, don't let her fool you. She's ornery.
They seem to have energy longer.
You leave food sitting out, she will take it.
So I wasn't
You
sure
didn't
about.
have to explain dog to me.
I wasn't super sure about these, what they were going to be like. There was a little air in the pouch, and it seemed like a much bigger size chunk. I was almost expecting that it was going to be the same exact ones that we get in MREs in the 80s. Just the little square of compressed peaches or compressed fruit cocktail. But this was they can attest it was just chunks. Like, it was actual, just like
a half a peach almost.
Yeah,
You
it
can
was.
see where the pit was on the actual peach.
Yeah, and it was very, very, crunchy compared to the ones that we got, in MREs. They were a little more styrofoamy. These were a little more like, a rock, which were really good though. So, Galen, are you doing a stream at 8 o'clock?
So, probably. Okay.
7 o'clock.
I think I can actually scroll back on this in case we're.
Yeah, she starts at 8 o'clock usually, unless there's something special. Who has to go? Oh, it's Christine had to go.
All right, I think we're mostly caught up there. All right.
So when you guys describe that, it sounds to me in my head like a plastic version of a ball jar, a canning jar.
Imagine if there was like the outer lid and then another lid in the middle. Because the idea is that outer seal you put on once, and then the inner lid you can unscrew and screw back on. And, the O-ring makes it keep a really good seal.
Yeah, no, I think I can see that.
So, I don't know. Do we want to try and tempt fate and follow this up with?
Why not?
All right, guys.
I'm scared.
We're gonna end this with one last food attempt. Let's see how this goes. We got a 1991 cherry nut cake by Sterling Foods or Sterling Bakery in San Antonio, Texas. So this is a later one, so there's a good chance it's okay. Unless it's a 1981. This shouldn't be an 81.
Is it glued to the package?
It's glued to the package. 3213. That doesn't match on the outside here. 1315.
1315.
So this might be a 1983?
Well, here I was born, so.
Wait, I'm confused. So the box is older than the...
Oh, it says 32135. Got it.
Okay.
Or 1315. So I would have thought the 1315 on the outside of this was the date, but... So here's the weird thing. We got 3213 and 15. And then we got... you can barely see. Maybe,
that green.
yeah.
Time for cheese.
Maybe on this, you can see
See, my problem is...
32 space 1315. So either this is a 1983 made on the 213th day, or this is a 1991 made on the 315th day. That's a big gap.
Big jump.
Well, good thing you're tasting it first.
The cake.
Glued to the inside, small box, folded over. I think we might get a 1983 here.
I think it might be an older one.
I think this might be an 83. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and preserve the pack a little
Is
bit.
that the cherry nut roll, or is that...
Cherry nut
maple?
cake.
Okay, because Smokey's just talking about Smokey's last...
Hey, Smokey!
No, he's not here.
Oh, okay.
Ken was mentioned he had a perfect maple nut roll.
We are missing Smokey. Yeah. Okay. So.
I mean, I got.
I'm not
cherry,
overwhelmed with cherry.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Kind of smells like a grocery store pie.
It is.
So we've got.
It is dark.
We've got it.
I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like.
It's a little dark. The cherries are black. Let's see.
Are you sure they're not nuts?
Oh wait, you're right. Those might be.
That could be.
Oh no, the cherries are next to it, so you can see in there. Let's see. In that
Hi,
little
Viper.
image. There we go. There's some cherry in there. I'm gonna give a let's not poison my guests taste test.
I mean, Sean, I always had this problem where I told them I'd eat everything, so I'm stuck either way, man. It was a promise to my viewers
What promise your viewers?
that I would eat anything that I opened.
Well, have you guys
Sean,
been in front of the
Sean's
camera
looking
in a while?
okay. He's looking okay. We have not filmed in a while. We've had some problems. But
Yeah, I kind of had a problem.
we have videos in the box with that. Ooh.
I had a little bit. I
don't know if
you
I'm
can
okay
pass
with that.
The
Ooh.
rest of this out to the rest.
No, it's good. It's
All right.
good.
All right.
John.
You know what it
Pass-
smells like
I
off the
can't
top,
handle
and it
a lot of
should?
Okay.
I'm getting fruitcake.
So There's definitely a little tiny bit of rancidity I got below the corner of my tongue.
Rachel, she said she saw the one Smokey open last night. It was perfect.
Smokey opened a perfect cherry nut cake. Oh, that's right.
I don't think anything wasn't.
And a Mars bar.
The cheese.
The Mars bar
Did he actually open it? Because
Yeah, he did, and it was not good.
And the Mars bar was no good.
Well, that was commercial packaging. We know from the Canadian rations.
Those bars don't last if they're not in something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why the Tootsie Rolls usually last, because they're inside of retort.
So there's definitely like the right under the edges of the back of the tongue feel.
I don't know that I'm getting that yet.
It's coming.
Yeah, a little bit.
Still good though.
I mean, it's not unpleasant. It's just there.
I'm all good.
It's
You'll know in about 5 seconds.
it's on the turn of the century area for me. I think it's real close. I mean, it's edible if we were dying in a field.
And was that
Who
actually?
wants more?
Oh my goodness.
It's good. It's good. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll know
there
on
it
the
is.
way home.
Okay, now I got it.
We'll know on the way home if it wasn't good, Sean.
I think it's still. I mean, it's still edible. It's not to the point of rancid where like it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, now I've never had that feeling before. So now that I actually got it, I got a frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
So it includes oil of bitter almonds. Interesting.
It actually says that on the package.
Cherries, sugar, flour, nuts, shortening, whole eggs, water, salt, baking powder, oil of bitter almonds.
Mm.
Nuts. Could be anything. And it says, it says in the manual for this, use walnuts, or pecans, or something else.
Whatever they have in the lab that day.
So, it has some leeway. I'd say that's a success. Definitely got that weird behind the back of the tongue.
Right in there.
And I thought it was.
Where it's got like a bite.
Yeah.
Did the puppy dog try any?
No.
How's your tongue, Coda? Are you feeling numb?
She's just drinking water, as always.
All right. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the week. We're successfully completed our 1979 dinner and our 1983 snack. Hopefully everybody had a good time tonight. We only cataloged 2 boxes, but we got, 50 items?
I would
30 items, 30, 40 items.
It was probably closer to the 40, 50 area. I know the first one had a lot of cans.
Covering a whole bunch of different types. So, hope everybody
there
had
were 8
fun.
peanut butters.
Let's see. Mars bar bloom. Yeah, I don't know. There's some guy on eBay right now selling Mars bars for $10 a pop.
So when they say Mars bars, though, did anybody see him break it up? Was it actual just chocolate? Because that's what I read on the wrapper. And to me, Mars bar is nougat and almond.
So
Mars bar is the Milky Way, but
yeah, the Mars bars are should be like nougat wrapped in chocolate, but it was crumbly. It was crumbly powder wrapped in crumbly powder.
From what I understand, when I had a Mars bar, it was what I had described, the nougat and the almond. And I say that because they actually replaced it with Snickers almond.
Because I know there was like Mars. I don't know. I can't remember. I thought Mars bars were basically the same thing as the Milky Ways.
Yeah.
And then the Snickers is something else. But all right. Glad you guys had a good time, and always great to get some guests. This was a ton of fun.
It was a good time. Good time.
So
we've been planning this for a year.
I will catch up with all you guys again next Sunday. I'll be same time. We'll get through some more of the collection, and I'll let everybody say goodbye.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, there we go. And we'll see you next Sunday. So until then, stay rational.